Okay, we are live now. All right.
Hey, everyone.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Actually, I should probably wait till the notifications go out for your channel
Yeah,
and Bobby's channel.
I got
Oh, there
yours.
it goes. Yep.
I didn't get one.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
there's Bobby.
why we're waiting on that, I'd like to say hello to everybody in the chats and thank you for being here. Um, we're doing things a little bit different today. We are also simulcasting. We always do my channel and Kim's channel. Today we are also doing it to Bobby's channel, or I should probably say former channel. So if you are in Kim or Bobby's chat and you want to join the main chat is on my channel, Susie Q7979. Because I will not be able to see, unfortunately, what you guys are writing in there. You'll be able to see
I think how it works is their chat shows up in ours, but they don't see the communication back to them, I don't think, but I don't know for sure. So it looks like they're talking to themselves and there's not very many people in the chat, but
right.
it's weird how it works that way, but that's the way
it is really weird.
So we have an exciting day today, you guys. I've been so excited all day about this.
Yes. Well, go ahead, Kim, introduce our guests.
Okay, so we have a very important guest who has decided to finally speak up, and we are very proud of her for that. So join me in welcoming Poina Sadar. She is a former employee of Corey Feldman's, and we're just going to have a chat with her, and she's going to talk about some of her experiences and things that happened during the time that she was employed by Feldman. So we can talk about whatever you're comfortable with. We'll let you kind of, tell us what you're comfortable with. If we ask you something and you're not comfortable with it, you can just say, I don't want to talk about it, and we'll leave it at that. So,
yeah, and we have some screenshots we'll be going over private text messages between her and Corey Feldman, and some police reports, some NDAs for overnight stays, because, people need those when they're doing illegal things, and everything else. So, hi, welcome. How are you?
Yes, hello to everyone. I'm not even going to try to attempt to name everybody in the chat. So
yeah,
we'll just throw it out there generically today. So welcome everybody, and yeah, let's get into this. So, Poina,
do you want to start? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
let's start off with
Well, let's say let's say
like,
when she worked for him. When did you start working for him? Just so, because I think it was 2016.
Poina,
Can she not hear us?
did something happen? Is she backstage?
Yeah, she's backstage. It says she's unmuted too.
Did she share? Yeah, she shared her audio because we were talking with her.
Yeah.
If it says she's backstage, did you accept her?
Oh, now can you hear us?
I think she should be able to hear us. We just couldn't hear her, right?
Yeah. What would have happened when we hit the thing go live?
I am not sure.
Did you switch something up?
Poina, if you can hear us, if you're backstage,
she can.
She can hear us? Okay. So then just add the link back and then go backstage and we'll accept you back into the stream.
Okay, hold on. Let me post it again. Sorry, guys. She was fine before we hit live.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? She put a post-it over her camera. She might not even be able to see the chat.
She doesn't need to see the chat. Can you hear us now? See, when she had her camera off, I couldn't hear her, but as soon as she put her camera on, can you hear us now? I don't know if she went and got a set of headphones or not.
I'm wondering though, what I mean is with the post-it note, not being able to see the chat, she might not know she's not in the stream.
She is in the stream now. I just let her in from backstage.
Oh, okay.
And I still can't hear her.
I can't hear her either.
Oh. You might have to mute that.
Sorry.
Okay, hold on. She just sent me a message.
Okay. technical
She says
difficulties.
she can hear me fine, but why were we able to hear her before we went live?
I'm not sure. If she's on her phone, go to Google Chrome and put in because that's what I have to do to be able to access it on my phone. I have to use Google Chrome as the browser and put in the StreamYard link and then add
See, when
yourself.
she tried to come on, here she is again. Hold on. Oh, I think we can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yay! Yes, we can. We're excited.
So sorry about that.
Could
I
you
don't
hear us
understand.
the whole
Yeah,
time?
I could hear you the whole time.
Okay. Okay, good. So we don't have to go through that again. So yay, you're back.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start off with when you worked for Feldman and what you did.
So I first started working with him. So he had that big viral Today Show, and everyone was like making fun of him. And then I came on when he did the second Today Show. From that point, for like a year and a half, I worked for him.
And you're a costume designer for him, right?
Yeah, I was a costume designer, and well, I'm a musician. I do make costumes.
Yeah.
But I had met him because a friend of mine was like, "Oh, look at my poor friend Corey Feldman." Everyone's laughing at him and making fun of the costumes and the vocals and whatever. And I don't know. I've always had sort of an affinity for like terrible music because I'm like, wow, that's someone's life, right? And I'm like, whatever, it's Corey Feldman. Like, that sounds like a fun Hollywood adventure. I'll go meet Corey Feldman. And I went over there and I had made them like some little stockings, and he was just like, well, we're going back on the Today Show, you should come in, make more things. And I was just like, okay. I was like, but like he was like trying to tell me he was gonna like trade, it was gonna be all this exposure or whatever. And I was just like, well, I don't really need exposure for my costumes. Like, that's how I make money. Like,
right.
I'm a musician. Like, this is what I do. I make costumes for money.
Yeah.
That's my money job. And but he was like, please, 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 this is so awesome. Please do it. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. And I was like, well, only if you pay for all the supplies, which he never did.
Stalker.
I have, sent invoices over and over and over again. It doesn't matter. He didn't pay me. Yeah. And then so those costumes I made pretty much out of like all kinds of recycled materials because I wasn't trying to spend a whole bunch of money, and I didn't really know what the deal was, but I just thought, well, it'll be fun if I can try and like make the show look better and fix the things that, people are making fun of him for.
Yeah.
And I think I did a pretty good job of that. The costumes looked well. He asked me, please, will you, make costumes? We have a tour coming up. And again, I was like, look, I'm not trying to be a costume designer. I don't need some exposure for this. Like, and so he made a deal with me that like, if I made these costumes for him, he, and he was still going to pay for all the supplies, that he was going to take me on tour as his opening act. And so I was like, well, that's a great deal. I'll do that because, then I'll get to go and do like 50 shows in the summer, and have a good crowd and perform and whatever. And I thought that would be really good for me. I thought it was going to be a really good opportunity.
Absolutely.
But it really wasn't a good opportunity because every opportunity, like, I've toured as a musician since I was like 17. I've been touring as Poina under my own name as an artist since like 2010. So, I've made a lot of friends over time, like with different, media peoples. And so some of my media people, when they found out that I was touring with Corey Feldman, they were like, oh, this is so cool. We want to do like a whole article on you and your costumes and your music and what you're doing. And they really wanted to like promote and help me promote because they wanted to support me as an artist. Right. But time and time again, like every single opportunity for press I had before the tour was completely shut down by him and his team. And then on top of it, like he never told anyone that I was coming on tour with him, and he wanted me to book myself as the opening act on his tour. And so I was really pissed, but at that point I had already put in like hundreds of hours on those
Committed, yeah.
costumes and put money into it. Like I was going so broke at that point because I was just made the bad decision to like do this thing. But I've done a lot of crazy things in my time to try to like get on the road and do a good tour, because like I'm just
YOLO.
You're trying to grow, yeah.
Trying.
Yep.
Yeah, and so then I had to like call all these venues, which I wasn't even given the contact information for who even was booking the shows. So it's like some of these venues I would like major venues I'm like trying to contact via jot form online to try to get myself a gig, and I was only able to book myself on like 3 or 4 shows, so I wasn't able to really do very much promotion for myself for the tour, which that was like part of why I wanted to do it, because it was going to be an opportunity for me to like get more press and all that kind of stuff, which it didn't really turn out that way at all. And then like by the time it came to the tour and they were giving me the contract, it was all such crap. I didn't want to go, but I had this feeling that I really needed to go. And it's, I don't know, I'm a Christian. I mean, despite the fact that he tells everyone I'm a Satanist, I am a Christian. And so it's like, I just had this really strong feeling that it was something I needed to do. So I was just kind of like following that spirit, just following the spirit.
Right.
Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go on this tour. I don't know why. I need to go on this tour. And I went on the tour, and it was really, really hard. I worked like 18 hours a day. He didn't feed me like it was in my contract that I was going to be fed. And I got really sick, had to go to the ER. I was working.
You want to tell the story you told me earlier about the time where your friend had to send you money for the food and what happened when you came back with it?
Yeah, actually, that was like the last thing I like messaged you. I don't know if you put it up or how it works, but yeah, I have this really awesome fan who's been, checking in on me for years. Like he's like bought me plane tickets and all kinds of things. He's helped me with my website. He's, just been a super, super supportive like person for my music. And so when I was on tour with Corey, he was checking up on me and was like, how's the tour going?
Yep.
And I was like, I'm so hungry, and they're not feeding me, and they weren't letting me stay in hotel rooms unless I wanted to go sleep in his room with him and his girlfriends, which that just, no, I did not want to put myself in that situation, because I knew that they were partying every night and I was working too much. I couldn't get involved in any of that.
Yeah.
And so I like instead of staying in hotels as stipulated per my contract, I was staying on the bus, and even though no one else was staying on the bus, I was the only one staying on the bus at night. And there was no water on the bus for like the first week. I couldn't shower. I got a really bad infection. I got really sick. I had to go to the ER. I had to fight like hell to go to the ER because he had this giant bag filled with all kinds of pills and medications, and he was like thinking he's like Dr. Corey Feldman or something, and he kept trying to convince me that that I had some, I don't know what he said. I had some I can't remember what he thought I had. It's been a while, sorry. But he was like trying to like push some medication on me, and I was just like, I'm not gonna self-diagnose and take some random pills out of your bag. Like, I'm gonna go to the ER.
Yeah.
So I did go to the ER, but then when my friend had contacted me and said, "Hey, how's the tour going?" and I said, "I'm starving," like I hadn't eaten at that point in like a week, and I hadn't gotten paid, and I didn't have any money, because I'd worked for him for free for like a month before, or
Right.
even longer before the tour,
Right.
making and preparing all the costumes
Yeah.
that I was never paid for. And so this guy actually sent me $200
Which I have the
via
receipt pulled
PayPal.
up on the screen. So
We love
here's
this
right here where the money was sent June 30th, 2017, 4:37 p.m.
Right.
We
So
blurred
That's
out the
good friend.
personal information. Yeah.
That's a good friend.
yeah, I tried to blur out any kind of personal information because I don't want anyone to get harassed. Because
Yeah.
last time I tried to speak out about Corey, it was like ongoing
Yeah.
threats for weeks. My phone was blowing up. I was being harassed, and Jackie was being harassed, and we actually had to file a police report from the harassment and threats from his fans attacking us. But so anyway, this guy gave me money, and I had to really fight to be like, I need to go to the grocery store. I must eat a vegetable. Like, I have to eat a vegetable. I have to eat a fruit. I've got to drink water. Like, I
Yeah.
can't drink Coca-Cola and eat Cheez-Its. It's not
Yeah.
food, and it's not okay. And so I took the money and I went to the store and I got, everything I needed to like maintain like a proper nutrition for myself on the road. And then when I got back to the tour bus with Corey and Courtney, Corey was like, "Well, you can't take that stuff on the bus."
Oh,
And I was like, "What do you mean I can't take my food on the bus?" He's like, "There's no room for it. You can't take your food on the bus." And I was like, "What am I
wow.
supposed to do with it?" And so he said, "You can sleep with it on your bunk bed." So I actually had to sleep with groceries just so that I could eat on that tour. And so then that same night that I bought these groceries, I was accused of stealing money from him because he had taken off with his girlfriends to the strip club in Portland. And I
Such a man
stayed.
of God he is. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I stayed on the tour bus. Because that was the first night I didn't know that I had nowhere to stay. Which was stupid because I have so many friends in Portland. I could have arranged to stay with 100 different people had I known that they weren't going to accommodate me. And so I stayed on the tour bus, and somehow he quote unquote lost $500 after going to the strip club and partying all night. But he was accusing people and telling people that he thought that either me or the bus driver stole the money from him. So I'd gotten all this stuff from Armando here, this letter and that copy, because I had put it in a file. At some point, we had tried to find a lawyer to represent me for all the
We have one,
violations
by the
and
way.
breaches of contract and all these kinds of stuff, but nobody would help us.
We actually have one that would be willing to help and is willing to help.
Yeah.
Well, that would be great, because like the reason why I didn't file just for like wage loss in small claims court like the other Angel
Yep.
is because there's a financial limit that you can
Right. See.
you have to be asking for less than, I think, what, like $5,000 or $10,000 or
Yeah.
something, which which it's just like with all of the breaches of contract and all of the issues and not being fed and just not being allowed to like shower and all these kinds
For
of
a
things. I
week.
just didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to like monetize like all these different things, to say like this is what it is. And I wasn't about to be like, oh, he didn't pay me for X amount of shows, because that number was so small and irrelevant compared to like the $10,000 worth of work I did just on costumes
it's
alone.
still pretty significant to you. So it might seem small to him, but it's significant to you.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. When you don't have
Yeah, it was
anything, that's a
huge.
lot.
Yeah.
Do you want me to read the letter from your friend?
Sure.
Okay, so I have it up on the screen, but I know it might be small for some people. So it says, "To whom it may concern, my name is Armando, and I'm writing this letter in defense of Poina against the allegations of stealing by Corey Feldman, and as a testimony of having sent her $200 June 30th, 2017 to help her get food to eat. I spoke to Poina via text message to see how she was doing on the tour with Corey Feldman. She told me she was having a really rough time. She was eating very little and working many hours. Feldman had
18
agreed.
hours a day I was
Yeah,
working.
that's crazy.
It's like
Feldman had agreed to get food for her. She's a vegan, but he had not done so. She told me she was surviving on the leftovers of other members in the band because she couldn't eat what Feldman was supplying, mostly candy, snacks, and pizza.
oh,
I was appalled that she wasn't eating and she had yet, hold on, let me see if I can blow this up a little bit for my eyeballs, yet to be paid for her services. Being a staunch supporter of her music and her artistic endeavors, I immediately arranged to send $200 to her PayPal account so she could shop for some food. When I checked back with her later, I found out, unfortunately, she was not allowed to bring her food in the containers that were located on the bus for cold storage. Instead, she was made to keep the food in her bunk area. I have encouraged her to contact me again if she was put through more of that treatment, and I would find a way to help. She was gracious in her response and said she would work on getting Feldman to hold up his part of the agreement they had for her nutritional needs. Recently, I found out that Feldman had not paid her the wages that he promised, and that Polina was not compensated for the uniform she created for Feldman and his band. I know Polina to be gracious, kind, trustworthy, and a hardworking person, so I wouldn't have any doubt that her claims about Feldman are true. I have learned that Feldman was accusing her of having stolen the money she used to purchase that food she was finally able to get. I hope this letter will serve to counter that claim and give evidence to the fact that she received the money directly from me via her PayPal account. I am including a copy of the PayPal statement that shows I sent her the money on June 30th, 2017.
Armando, we love you. You are a good person with a good heart, and I'm glad that you stepped up and helped Karina.
Yeah, absolutely. So, okay, so then you were on tour. Do you want to go into detail, like how things ended? Like you guys got back from tour?
Well, yeah, I just want to say, like, once we were on tour, you know, like how he like totally blocked my ability to try to book myself on the tour beforehand in all these different like really super shady ways. But then once I was on the tour, he realized that, and you know, he told me I was a world-class performer, and so he felt like the venues were making fun of him every night because the opening acts that they had booked for him were these, you know, sort of kitsch artists, you know, wearing devil costumes or whatever, and a lot of the venues had these angels and devil themes going on, and he didn't like that. He felt like he was a real artist and his music was real artistry, and so he realized he decided that if I opened for him that it actually set the tone that this was a real music show. And so then he utilized me, and every single night for the rest of the tour, save but one or two nights when the venue said I couldn't play because I had too many opening acts, I would go out there and open. But it was really tough because I'd go out there, the venuers, and, you know, everyone was irritated because they didn't know I was going to be performing. And then two, you know, the crowd didn't know I was performing. So I had to like literally win people over, like, really quickly because they're all staring at me like, you're not Corey Feldman. What? So, but you know, I did win them over, and it was really good, and ultimately, you know, I was singing backstage during his set to help boost the chorus vocals. I made
Well,
the
you were
costumes
even
good.
given the girls vocal lessons too, right?
Yeah, I was giving the girls vocal lessons. I was helping with every aspect of the show that was considered weak according to like the media reviews. And so like by the end, you know, mid tour, end of tour, people started saying like, wow, he's actually like, you know, maybe it's not great music or whatever, but he's really doing a real show, and the vocals improved, and the costumes are great, and blah 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 blah. So I really, you know, and by the end of the tour, I was at Corey's house. We'd finished unloading the bus, and we get to his house, and it was him and me and Courtney and the security guard and Jackie and the 19-year-old tour manager. And Corey was just, you know, telling everybody how great they did or whatever. And he was like, okay, Poina, you know, we couldn't have done this tour without you. You basically did everything, and you know, you're so incredible, and we just can't even believe like what a great worker you are. He was like, I want to take you on tour like all over the world and blah 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 blah. That was right before I got fired. So that, and you can read if you want to pull up that the letter from the security guard Markel. You can see he says in that letter too that I basically did everything on the tour, and then I was told, you know, he was there in that room at the same time.
That seems to be a theme with him from what I've noticed, is he really praises you and puts people on a pedestal right before he stabbed you in the back.
Well, I don't think he would have stabbed me in the back except for I did something really, really, really bad.
Ooh.
What'd you do?
I took one of his possessions. I took Jackie von Ruden out of his house.
Ooh, la la.
It's sickening actually, because I didn't know this part was going on. I didn't know about that he was giving these girls ketamine and, you know, trying to prevent weird sexual situations. I knew he was kind of a creep because he'd asked me at some point to try to collect women at one of the shows, and I just ignored him and was like, oh, how funny. He thinks he's a rock star. Like, I'm not collecting women for him. That's not happening.
He wanted you to collect women at the shows?
Yeah.
He had me do that for him at his show back in 2000. Me and my best friend.
Wow.
Yeah. Ew. So that's why, because what he was doing, I found out, you know, later, he was like basically just doing drugs all night and then having these like massive orgies. So yeah, he wanted me to go collect like the hottest girls in the room and be like, oh, come meet Corey Feldman, woo. Which I didn't do. I was like, I'm not doing this. Like, I'm not playing. I'm like, I'm here to work. Like, I'm not playing these stupid games. Oh, that one's from the bus driver.
Okay, so
Wait.
I think we're just gonna have to go through the screenshots at the end when we're done.
Okay.
That's from Jackie. Yeah, we'll just go through them at the end because I'll be jumping back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then you took Jackie out of the house.
So Jackie had told, when we got back from the tour, Corey and Courtney went to Hawaii, and Jackie called me. I lived in the neighborhood, and she was like, I can't be here anymore. It's horrible. Like, it's really, really horrible. Can you please get me out of here? And I didn't know that he thought of Jackie as property that he owned. And so I just thought that she was a girl in the band that lived at his house, and I didn't realize that she wasn't allowed to leave. You know, I was like, yeah, no big deal. You don't want to live there anymore. No, whatever, no big deal, right? So I went over to his house and I got Jackie, and she packed up all her stuff, and she actually like moved in with me for a little while. She didn't have anywhere to go because she's from Minnesota, and you know.
Yep.
So anyway, she moved in with me, and then like right after that, I started getting all these, you know, first of all, my paycheck was shorted, and then I was like, why is my paycheck shorted? And then that was a whole issue. And then he started calling me a Satanist and telling me that I was a homewrecker and all this kind of stuff, you know. And it took a while for Jackie to like really open up to me about like how bad the situation was there. But, you know, once she started telling me, you know, that he kept giving her ketamine and pushing ketamine and asking her to take more ketamine, and, you know, and I was like, what are you doing? Like, I mean, she's young, she's in her early 20s. And she, you know, and I was like, you can't take ketamine. Like, ketamine's really dangerous. It's a dissociative drug. Like, people, that's like people use that for date raping and stuff. It's really dangerous. You shouldn't do that.
Well,
like,
and didn't you
it's not like smoking pot or whatever. I don't know. I think he told her, oh, it's just like ecstasy or something. So I think she just thought it was like a party drug or something. She didn't really know. But then she kept, like, after it made her feel not very good, she kept saying no, but he kept trying to pressure her to take more of it. And like, she witnessed some really horrific things
Can I
you
just
know, of him
interrupt for
pushing.
one quick second and just to
Mhm.
let everybody in the chat know, if you haven't seen or heard Jackie's interview, it's on my channel, it's on Bobby's channel as well. So that's one you
Yeah, it's
definitely need
on
to
mine
see.
too. And
Yeah.
Jackie told me when I was with her that she had told him, you know, because he was trying to push, you know, X and K on her. And she told him, like, listen, I've tried that a couple times, and I think she's allergic to Tylenol. And
Yeah,
she's
she doesn't like that. She didn't want to
right. And
take
she's
it.
like,
And
I've
so
always had a bad reaction to it. And he was like, oh, no, you just haven't had the good stuff. You just got, you know, the bad stuff. Try. And she said she did. She's like, it must have been like really good stuff because she said it didn't like make her sick like the other times. But then it was just like more and more and more and like constant. And it just got to be too much.
well, and then of course, like she witnessed him like pushing drugs on, you know, completely incapacitated women who are crying and wanting to go home and blah blah blah, you know. Meanwhile, Mr. Turtleface Feldman's running around, you know, on all these interviews being like, I've never raped anyone, there's no victims and blah blah
Clean
blah.
for 30 years.
Such an asshole.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so I essentially, you know, the whole wolf pack thing started because me and Kitty went after him and we filed police reports for the stuff that had happened to her. And you know, we reported what we could, but it was really tough because we were on the road. And so like with legal stuff, it's like, you know, we would have had to report every incident in certain cities that we were in and not in LA. You know, it just
Right.
got really complicated
Yes.
legally
Yeah.
for us to try to like get justice. And that's why ultimately like there wasn't enough evidence of something that happened in LA where we were trying to
Right.
talk to the police to make it go any further.
Yeah.
So that was the really tough part. But yeah, and so I, you know, I was so stumped like why, when I was asking him like why he was shorting everyone's paychecks and not paying people, especially after we worked so hard, you know, that he would call me a home wrecker. I was like, why is he calling me a home wrecker? I finally realized after Jackie had opened up to me, he was calling me a home wrecker because he thought he literally owned her. She
Yep.
wasn't allowed to leave the house. She wasn't allowed to work. She
That's
told me
true.
there was a few times she wanted to leave and she had to like sneak out a window and sneak back in
Yeah.
the house in order to come and go. And so, you know, when I found this out, it just like dawned on me. I was like, oh, he thinks I'm a homewrecker because he thinks he owns her. I was like,
Yep.
this is so sick. I was like,
Yep.
this is insane, you know? And so I hate talking about all of this because I hate even being associated with Turtleface, but I I am a Christian and I believe very strongly that like it's my sacred duty that if you know, you see injustice, you fight injustice.
That's
And
right.
that's you know, that's what we're called to do.
And it's kind
And
of cathartic to get it out too, you know, don't hold on to it, don't internalize it. So that's a good thing too.
I'm just tired of him targeting girls in smaller towns and using this like old fame or whatever
Yep.
to manipulate girls into thinking that they're going to somehow like have some type of career or whatever by becoming slaves to him. Like it's
Yep.
just disgusting to me, you know? And
Yep.
like, you know, I'm really glad I went on that tour as hard as it was because I did protect those girls and I, you know, I was taking food every night from the green rooms and recooking, you know, taking all the vegetables and cooking it into actual food that people could eat. So that they could not starve to death on this tour.
Jackie,
Um
sorry, Jackie just came in the chat and she said she had to jump the gate one time with a pair of angel wings.
Oh, Jackie.
Could you imagine if you would have got stuck on top of that gate? You're like sitting there with your
That
wing,
Jackie
like,
G would have got
ow. It's not funny, but
stuck.
yeah. So
Oh,
then
Jackie, I
he
can
started
picture it.
in the you'll see in the text messages when you post them up, he was attacking me for helping Jackie move out of his house and saying that I, you know, because I said why are we not being paid, then all of a sudden he's like, you're serving the dark lord and you know you're assisting a Satanist and blah blah blah. And
And we
like,
have all
yes,
those text messages.
yes, Jackie was in a band called Singing for Satan, and as a Christian, of course, I'm like, don't love that, but that it means very little. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because
It doesn't mean you're praying to Satan and all that other stuff,
No, and she's not. I've never seen Jackie do any weird rituals
No.
or kill any animals or rape any
That's
women.
actually important to mention because he wanted us, when I was Feldman, to look at you guys and to see if there was anything related to Satanism and stuff. And he even sent me pictures of Jackie worshiping at a table, and it looked like something satanic. Like, this was the picture he was trying to present. Like,
Oh, I think I know that picture because I think I saw
yeah,
it at one point.
yeah,
I was like, Kitty, I don't like this. And she just laughed at me.
yeah.
Because I think, was that the one? I think it's
Well,
like on Instagram where her and one of her girlfriends were like, I don't know, they were just being dumb and pretending to hail Satan over their,
Yes.
because she's an atheist. She doesn't believe in any of that stuff. And so, it's just funny to her. She doesn't care. Like,
well, and then he always
doesn't take
had
it
a thing for
seriously.
her because he hates Marilyn Manson, and he knew that she was friends with Marilyn Manson.
Yes.
So that drove him nuts too, from what I understand.
Yeah, because he
Well,
also
yeah.
sent the same message about Marilyn Manson as well.
Yeah, well, then we went to his birthday party, and it was like, no cameras allowed, blah, 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 whatever. And yet somehow the only picture from that party was a picture of the two of us at the party, proving that we were Satanists that got around, that we were like, what the literal hell is this crap? Yeah. Like, are you serious right now? Like, I didn't even know who took the picture or where it came from or why. Like, it didn't make any sense.
Right.
And it was just ridiculous. I mean, and it was just ridiculous that he would call me a Satanist, because it's like, at that time I was literally like praying my rosary on the bus every day. I was trying to pray over the girls. I was, praying with the girls too. Like, whenever they would have like an issue or be stressed out about one thing or the other, I was like, maybe, I don't know. Maybe I was the annoying Christian. I don't know. But I certainly wasn't.
It sounds like you were a good source of support for them, and it reminds me of when Margot did her interview, and she said the same thing, and the bus driver Wade, he was saying the same thing. This is like, there's usually one stronger person out of the group that kind of takes the others under her wings, sort of thing, kind of.
Yeah, like people were calling me the tour mom and stuff like that.
So that's good. They needed that, and you needed that too at the time.
Yeah, and like once that role sort of like set into place, like I knew exactly why I was like prompted, like on a spiritual level, why I felt prompted to go, because there's all these young women who none of them had toured before. None of them really had very much experience at all. I've been on all kinds of tours, major label tours and indie tours and self-funded tours, and I even did a tour where it's like I toured till my van broke down, and then I hitchhiked for a year and a half. And I called it the Trains, Planes, and Automobile Tour, because I just literally was going from gig to gig, however I could possibly get there. Like, I was just like ready for rock and roll. I was down. Yeah. So I'd gone, I'd been on the buses, and I'd been in vans and cars, and I toured in a lot of different ways. And so I had a lot of different experiences with all the different aspects of touring. And so I think like that was like part of why everything kind of fell onto me during the tour, because we had a lot of inexperienced girls that were like having their first tour. And then Corey was also like, oh, you guys are like stars, so you don't carry your gear, and you don't do this, and you don't do that. But then I was apparently the only crew member, so it was like falling on me. And like oftentimes I wasn't going to bed until 5 or 6 in the morning, because I had to load out the entire stage, because he wouldn't let the girls carry their gear. And so I was carrying everything and loading the bus, and then going and tearing down the merch, and then doing all the bookkeeping and all. I mean, it was just, and then like the girl that was running the merch, I mean, he was drugging her and keeping her on drugs all the time. And so it's just like her brain kind of turned into mush. She couldn't even do basic math. So I got stuck with all of the accounting as well, because they kept using my phone and my PayPal account to run their merch sales because they didn't have any, and I had to leave them my phone because I had merch as well because I was, you know, opening every night, and it was the only way I could make like a
Get
little
some
extra
money.
cash.
Yeah.
And so like I was having to do all this extra accounting and then like send money all the time to management for the merchandise, which it was just sick and annoying.
Wow.
It was
Yeah.
just sick and annoying. I'm tired of, you know, seeing all these interviews pop up where he's telling people he doesn't do drugs and telling people he doesn't rape women. It's like, are you that bold that you're just going to literally just like make your own statement? I've never raped anyone. There's no victims, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, he may have intimidated women into feeling like they can't talk about what they went through. But
I've said it before, and I'll say it again.
sorry.
I know the situation that you're talking about. And for her protection, I'm not going to say her name, but I've said it before.
Well, for
She's
both of
probably,
us.
yeah, and they probably have PTSD, and that's completely understandable. But I hope that they have the courage and the bravery to come forward within the statute of limitations, because
Me too, because there are multiple witnesses from that tour that heard things said or saw things or whatever that could be witnesses if such persons would like to come forward. They absolutely would have the support of a lot of different people from that
they
tour
wouldn't
that
be
were
alone.
on the tour.
They wouldn't have to do it alone. And wouldn't it be ironic that he got caught under the same laws that he's helping to pass?
Yeah. Well, it's just irritating, the whole laws that he's trying to pass, because he got involved with all of that. Like, he jumped on the whole Me Too bandwagon because we'd basically tore apart the following tour because he didn't have a bass player and he didn't have me to be doing all the rest of the work. And he, you know, wrangled in a couple other girls, but then, you know, there was so much trouble on the tour and the arrest that, you know, he basically, like, I don't know how he got away with saying those drugs weren't his and they were someone else's, because that someone else got in trouble and he didn't get in trouble. But
Nor his
you know,
wife.
then the rest of the girls walked off of the tour, and meanwhile he's launching the Truth campaign to say, you know what, I'm gonna cancel my tour so I can save Hollywood from pedophiles. And it's like, no, your tour is wrecked because people are tired of not getting paid and for you being on drugs all the time and pushing drugs on girls and you know, driving recklessly and doing a whole bunch of other issues, causing a lot of other problems, causing safety and health issues and whatever. And so then all of a sudden it was like, we tried so hard to, like, I mean, we had every major media source contacting us for interviews, but then nobody would run the story at all. And meanwhile, he was getting all this press for the Truth campaign and raising all this money off the backs of hardworking Americans and getting this money to make, you know, and saying he needed it for security against the wolf pack. Well, we're the wolf pack and we're not Satanists and we're not trying to kill him. He's, you know, he's digging his own grave. Like, we just want people not to be giving them his money thinking that he's protecting people from the pedophile Hollywood elites, because we're not the pedophile Hollywood elites. I mean, literally, like me and you and, you know, like Jackie and like we're the wolf pack. Like, we didn't leave some stupid book on his door, record, or whatever that stupid thing was.
Calendar.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that in the beginning, and some people have been talking about that in the chat. I'm sure if you guys have not seen it, it's all over the news today. Supposedly, allegedly, somebody sent or put a Wolfpack calendar on his doorstep. I saw some of his screenshots of his Feldman members being like, oh, well, you know who that is. They're trying to insinuate it's me because I live in California. I was
that he wanted to sell 100,000 tickets, and the last we heard, 4,000. I'm calling it that he did it himself to try and promote.
I'm calling it he did it himself, the same way he stabbed himself with an imaginary needle.
Same thing with the monster trucks. I mean, you know, 3 incidents.
Brother, that was a joke.
there's no, you know, I found it funny. TMZ can always find police reports, but yet they couldn't find the one from last night. We all know, if you guys don't know, Feldman has a brother that's on the LAPD. So who knows
Oh, I
what, you
forgot
know,
about that.
yeah, who knows what was all involved with that? But, you know, I was online all night last night. I was in multiple different streams. At one point, there was 3 streams going on at once. So I was nowhere near his house. I live about an hour and 45 minutes away.
You don't
So
even need to
I
explain.
just found out about it like
Ridiculous.
before the show, so I'm not even sure when it, you know, he's
yeah,
saying it
I
showed
think
up or
he put it
whatever.
there himself, because all I'm hearing is everybody's like, "What do wolves have to do with anything?" Like,
and
like,
like, what's a calendar? Like, what are you scared you're gonna get a paper cut? Like, I don't understand.
whatever.
Well, you know what? The wolves might come alive out of the calendar and stab him with an imaginary needle, and he might die.
with untraceable poisons.
Or paper cut death. I don't know. I mean, what's it, a calendar of all of us saying you're a liar? I mean, what's
Right.
in the calendar? Are we in it? Because we're definitely the wolf pack.
Yeah. I mean, if the wolf pack is a majority of like housewives and just people that don't like Feldman, then I guess we're the wolf pack. Like,
Yeah.
it's so ridiculous. The Hollywood wolf pack, I should say. The movie MD article that they wrote about the calendar. They're like, the Hollywood wolf pack. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sakes. Did you guys investigate anything?
I'm like, I don't mind. You want me to be the wolf pack? I'll be the wolf pack. Like, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like,
It's just become like,
you
whatever.
give me a cute little name, Corey Feldman. Go and give me a cute little name.
Right. Like, he wants to keep it going, then fine. So will I. You know, I'll use the hashtag.
Usually it's my dog, and I say that's the wolf.
Well, we can start going over some of these screenshots now.
Okay.
Hold on, let me get to the top of them on my phone.
Is it going crackly?
Yeah, it does have crackling. Somebody has crackling by their microphone.
That's not me.
Let me see who it is. It should tell me if I stop screen sharing. I think it might be you, Paulina.
There, it stopped.
Okay. No. Paulina?
Yeah?
Your microphone, something's by the microphone and it's making a crackling sound.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay, now it's better.
It seems to crackle every time you talk.
She may have to rejoin the stream.
Hold on.
It's probably
okay, now that I took it out. Okay, now.
Yeah,
it might be the piece of paper rubbing up against the microphone.
No, I have a piece of dice on it now. Or like a plastic thing. That's why it's all shiny.
There, it's okay now. Yep, it stopped now.
Is it when I talk? Okay. I don't know what it is. Hold on, let me try to mute. Okay, now I can talk and it's fine. See, I think it's her.
Mute.
Okay, now
Unmute.
let's see if it's sometimes you're unmuted. Okay, sometimes you just have to mute it because StreamYards is weird. So hopefully that fixed it. Okay, let's get. Okay. Yeah, the letters, they're here, guys. These are all letters that are showing people backing up what she has said, that wrote witness statements back for her to go to court. They're really long. I'll keep them up here if you guys want to screenshot it. I don't think I'm going to read all these because we're going to be here all day if I do that, and we have lots to go through. Or I can like put a link afterwards down below with all the screenshots.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the C is Corey. Okay. Those are his screenshots. It looks like this was a group text with, I'm assuming, you and a bunch of the other girls.
Yeah.
Okay. So he says these discussions need to take place one-on-one and with Phil, not on an open forum. That is not professional. If any mistakes were made, I'm sure they will be corrected. But
yeah, I had an
again,
issue with
but
yeah, I had an issue with this one because so this is in well, you'll see this is like part of the whole text message conversation when I was asking about our why our paychecks were shorted. Um he tells me to talk to Phil, but the reason why I didn't talk to Phil, I had stopped talking to Phil because Phil had made me feel really uncomfortable by making some sort of comment about my titties on the phone and whatever, and Phil Shapiro is manager. I just was really uncomfortable about it, and when I had
he's a perv.
Yeah.
Well, and not only that, but he was like trying to get me to have like conversations with him, and he didn't want me to talk to Corey, and it was really weird, and I just ended up talking to Corey and saying I'm really uncomfortable. Your manager did this, blah blah blah, and his response was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, he's sexually harassed my wife, and he's sexually harassed all these different girls and blah blah blah." And I'm like, well, what are you gonna do about it? Like, and he was like, well, there's nothing I can do about it because he's helping me with my movie and this and that and whatever, and there's just nothing I can do. I'm just stuck. I have to just like play along. And I was like, what do you mean you have to play along? And he was just like, there's nothing I can do. But, he promised us a safe working environment. That's what the whole thing was, is like, oh, I help women and we do this thing and it's so great. It's a safe space and everyone's happy and, women working together. And it's like, no, it wasn't like that at all. We were being sexually harassed. And then, like, when I told him about it, he was like, it's okay, you don't have to talk to Phil anymore. And then as soon as I say something about the paychecks, whoa, go talk to Phil. I have nothing to do with this.
Right.
So that really pissed me off that he tried to say that I needed to do that.
Oh yeah,
we talked about
he
that.
should throw you guys off. Yeah, I'm sure. Okay, so he says that is not professional. If any mistakes were made, I'm sure they would be corrected. But again, as the contract states, any discrepancies should be addressed directly with Phil. Paulina, there must be something rubbing against your mic when you're not talking, hon, because when you talk, it goes away.
I don't know.
I'm not sure if it's plastic, but now it's fine.
It's like completely, I'm not touching it at all. It's just sitting still.
That's so weird. Okay. And doing it in a manner of should be addressed directly with Phil, and doing it in a manner is a breach. Please review the entire contract and then call Phil if you have an issue. Have a wonderful week, and I'll be speaking with all of you when I return.
From Hawaii. That's what that means.
And then JF, is that Jackie? I don't know. No matter how many shows we play, the contract says we are guaranteed 7 weeks, which it does. We have the contract. Okay, this, go ahead. You want to go ahead?
That's just one example of like many, 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 many tweets that and like social media attacks that me and Jackie were going through when we were trying to speak out against his truth campaign with reality. We were completely threatened and harassed many, many times by his fans. And this is just one example.
It says you B-word are shit liars who will do anything for attention. That ugly blonde in the middle is a known whore. Oh, I don't know why it's doing that for her thing. Don't call yourself singing for Satan if you don't want people to call you a saintess. There's like a lot of bad words in here I don't want to say because
it's just dumb because he was calling me a Satanist and that wasn't even my band.
I'm going to see if muting you and unmuting you will help get rid of that sound for a second. Hold on.
It stopped.
I know, it stops as soon as I mute her.
So why don't we get her to try and rejoin the stream?
Oh, she just did. Okay.
Okay,
Let me
come back
put the
to the
invite back in here. Please, this link is for Jackie, guys. I won't be approving anybody else coming on. I know 2 people tried to come in earlier. Oh, I guess I didn't have to post that. Never mind. Device is not connected, it says for her. No, she's connected. Okay. Okay. I think so. I was scared to say
I
whether
know, I was gonna say that.
I don't know, like it kind of was there for a second. Are you sure there's not like a crumb in your microphone or the paper's not rubbing against it?
He gets really triggered by noises in the background.
No, I don't know. It's just making noise every time you talk. I'm not sure
That's
why.
weird.
On my
Okay.
end.
All right. So let's
It's
keep
not as
going.
bad now, though.
No, it isn't
That's
as
another
bad.
letter.
Oh, this is a security person? Or
that was the security.
was working the security position for the Corey Feldman and the Angel Summer Tour. I observed Helena maintain the stylist wardrobe position, but her daily duties went beyond the position of stylist wardrobe. After fixing costumes, washing, assisting the stage setup, tuning, assistant merch setup, and many other supporting roles, her days were long. The, what's that word? Aforementioned tour
Yep.
was very well trailing and work intense for a few that were committed to giving their all for the tour. Helena's name would be at the top of the list, in my opinion, based upon energy and time given versus compensation. It was mentioned at the end of the tour that the tour could not have happened if it were not for her, for her, we'll just say. Yes, there were pay and accounting issues creating delays and discrepancies in pay throughout the tour and the end. These issues varied in complexity among each individual. Yeah, I bet they did. Okay. This is Feldman. Dude, I have nothing to do with the accounting. We do owe some money to everyone due to the lack of funds because, as you know, I didn't get paid on half the tour. That was my only income as I spent everything on buying supplies, food, costumes, props, lighting, and
He
let's
never
not.
paid me for supplies.
Yeah,
I still have the invoices unpaid in my PayPal account.
Well, you save all
wow.
those and we'll get them to the lawyer.
And let's not talk about the bus or Wade, who we know stole from me. Anyways, I gave all I had and got effed. And now I am broke and can't pay my bills until the next tour. So everyone will just have to excuse some patience and manners because real friends don't assume somebody is working them over when they spared all for the greater good. So it's you who is twisting it and getting it all effed up. If you didn't have so much hate in your heart, you wouldn't assume the worst of everyone. Again, God bless.
Oh, God.
Such a sicko. It's just so manipulative and just.
He sure is. And controlling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see this one. So
Hate in my
yeah,
heart. That's a ridiculous part because it's like anyone who knows me just would laugh at that statement.
yeah. So yeah, we have all worked hard.
Everyone else,
Sorry.
everyone else
I
that's
don't.
spoken up. Wade, the bus driver, Margot, Jackie, you, everybody that's been
Mara.
Mara, yes. Everyone that has spoken up has all been consistent. They all say the same things from the pills to the food to the living conditions to the dog shit in the beds to not being able to
Ew.
shower. I mean, all of these things. And don't forget, people, that this is like an employment thing. This
Yeah, if
isn't
you
just
look on the
this.
contract there of mine, it says you are an employee of Corey's Angels. It's like, well,
Absolutely.
why was I being paid 13 cents an hour if you break it down?
There you go. And if you were working at
Sorry,
any
but
other
that's
place,
illegal.
just because you're a musician, it doesn't negate the fact that you guys had a contract in place and he did not fulfill his obligations, not even paying you. All of the
Yeah.
stories are consistent. If you haven't heard the interviews, check them out. They're on Bobby Wolf's channel, on one of the channels that's streaming this live right now.
Yep. Okay, so let's see what this one is. It says, so yeah, we all worked hard, and yeah, I got screwed out of money, and things get tough on the road. But none of that equates to working for the Dark Lord. Only a true Satanist tries to dismantle the work of God. Open your eyes. Why do you draw such abuse to yourself time and time again? Because you don't know true love. You only know deception, and that's a shame. But I will continue to pray for you. And if you ever want to truly walk the righteous path, I will gladly hear you when you are prepared to make amends for the pain you unjustly brought to my doorstep. God
Well, I
bless.
certainly can guarantee you that if I want to walk the righteous path, I'll do what I normally do, and I'll go on Sunday to church. I'm not going to go to Corey Feldman to try to walk the righteous path. I'll go to God.
That's
Sorry,
great.
he's
Can
not
we
God.
talk about one thing real quick? It just came to me. You said that people had to sign NDAs for overnight visits.
Yeah, I never signed one. I don't know why, or for some reason I never signed one.
Perfect. So why?
Yeah.
What was his justification for having people having to sign an NDA for overnights?
Well, at least from what I've heard from Kitty, from Jackie, um, the things that she witnessed there, it it's just sounded awful, with all the drug use and then the orgies and then the drugging women who are beyond capacitated to try to get them involved with their
So, like, okay, for instance, I'm
marriage
just trying
bed.
to understand from an outsider's perspective. If someone's going there for the first time, like, say Susie or I went to his place, obviously never going
Uh-huh.
to happen, but just for an instance, and he asked us to sign an NDA, my first question would be why? What do I need to sign this for? Like,
Well, I mean, I will say that I do think a lot of celebrities do that, but I think they're like Kim Kardashian. Like there was an episode on there where like they were trying to get her mom to sign an NDA before coming in her house. Um, so I don't, but I mean, that's like next level. I mean, he's not,
People just want privacy, I think. It's,
yeah, and they,
it wouldn't be that big of a deal if like they weren't,
right.
breaking God's laws and man's laws.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, I mean, but he does it because, and they're not even legal NDAs that he has. So, I mean, maybe he's fixed that now though.
Mm-hmm.
Is this, let me see. Does this go with that? Oh no, this is, let me see. Okay, this is where this one starts. Okay. You come in here with the Satanist telling me I need to get right with the Lord. Which Lord are you speaking of? The one Marilyn Manson prays to? And by the way, whatever money went through your PayPal was all Phil's money. I never saw a cent of it. So believe what you want. Your opinion's all right. Just believe in something and step into the light. Life is about giving selflessly, and that's why I'm broke, because I give and I give until I have nothing left. And that's okay because God always pays me back. I'm always fulfilled. And I sleep very well at night knowing I do everything for love. So please don't come here and act all self-righteous and godlike when you are dancing with the devil. You are supporting a dark soul who is purposely trying to defame me and destroy all the help I give.
This is the
Every
part that's crazy is he starts going in about saying that I'm the one that brought Jackie to his house. I'm the one that brought the servant of the Dark Lord, Jackie or whatever. And I'm like, I met her on the tour. I had nothing to do with Jackie until I met her on the tour. And
it's
then I was like, you don't deserve to be, living there if you don't, and be treated in a way that you don't wish to be treated. Of course you can move out, no big deal. Like I mean, that should be simple. Like why is he forcing the girls to live there? That doesn't make any sense. Like not all the other girls lived at the house. I mean, he was trying to pressure Margot to move into the house and she was like, no way.
Good.
But I don't understand what.
well, here's
It's like
the thing. As soon as you guys quit, you're all Satanists and you're working for the devil. And oh my God, Jackie was in this band. Like, I'm sure he knew that before he hired her. Just like, oh, she used to be a stripper. Oh my God. Well, yeah, you probably found her while you were at the strip club. Like, you had no issue with it then. So now all of a sudden you're going to, like, you're defaming them. You're the one that hired them. Do you not background check or look into the people that you invite into your home where your child is?
Yeah, and I
Obviously
don't
not.
get that, because then somehow it's all my fault, and I'm like, I'm not the one who hired her. I had nothing
Yeah.
to do with this.
So then, all right, every time
All
a
I can
dark,
do is make the show better and do my job and perform. And
every time a dark soul realizes how much they can't handle the love and the light, they try to spin the story into me being a bad guy or cult leader. LOL. Well, you absolutely sound like a
LOL.
cult leader. Okay, this is like cult leader 101. Um. Then try. Okay. Look at reality.
It's
Any.
called coercive control.
Yep.
Coercive control. It's when someone, like, manipulates someone into a situation where, they try to get out and they can't, because either their livelihood or their home or like whatever is like dependent on, this manipulation. And these girls get stuck there and then they don't know how to get out. And it's not really illegal. I know that there's Senator Rubio and the district attorney Mike Fuhrer trying to pass a coercive control bill, which would help to make these types of things illegal. Like having girls live in his house that aren't allowed to work, things like that. That lead to the type of manipulation that ends up becoming what's classified as domestic violence.
I was
It's
just
like
going to
another
say
way
that.
that they're
Isn't
trying
it
to
considered that
end
because they're
that.
living?
Huh?
I was just going to say that, like, is it not domestic violence because they actually live in the home?
No, it's just like the sort of manipulation and control and stuff like that is what's not illegal. That's what the coercive control
Right.
bill
Okay.
that they're
Gotcha.
discussing, because it's been passed in other countries in different places, and so it's
Right.
being discussed as a way to sort of try to prevent some of these cases that turn into really severe domestic violence or sexual assaults.
Right.
Later, that may be hard to prove because of 100 different reasons, but if they can, if coercive control was illegal, then he wouldn't be able to get away with half the stuff he
Right.
does.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I just realized I screwed up the start of this text. Was one screenshot ahead of this. So I'm gonna read it, and this is the one where he talks about Darcy. And if like this text message made me sick because he's such a control freak. It's like he wants to be running a sex cult thing. Like he actually called himself Save a Ho on Trisha Paytas's podcast the other day. He literally said, I was being like Captain Save a Ho with these girls. It's like, okay.
That is so rude. It's
Yeah.
so rude. I wasn't a hoe. Like,
Right.
and he tries to make it sound like he helped me out and I was just so down and out and whatever. And it's like, no, I helped you out. I helped you out.
Yep.
I'm just, regular awesome and not a hoe. And it's just ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. And then like what was that girl's name again? You said that just did that podcast interview with him?
Trisha Paytas.
Trisha Paytas. Yeah, like I think I ended up hearing about that podcast because I follow Blair White online. I think she's really interesting, and I saw she like had a picture with her and then like led to the podcast about Corey Feldman, and I'm just like, oh my god, because Blair White's always online trying to like call out predators herself. Like, I know like that's not how her channel started, but like she's been up against another like narcissistic sociopath, Onison, I think his name is, very similar character as Corey Feldman in my opinion. So I hope that somehow it gets back to them that, he's a liar, because they're just promoting another predator.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Sorry, I was answering a question in Bobby's chat. Okay, so this is the beginning of it. I let you into my home and into my world because you were down and out. And even though you weren't an angel, I still took care of you to the best I could. However, you are allowing a Satanist dictate your thoughts and coming into my home my pure, unadulterated house of love and God worship. Oh my God. And tell my girls that you are here to save them. I am the one protecting them. You know nothing about what I do for Darcy. You have no idea how much destruction is in that little girl. She
I
is
don't
a
even know where that came from. I never said anything about Darcy. Like, I don't like have any idea what any of
Well,
that had to do with.
Jackie had told me that Darcy was going to leave with her when she left when they were in
Yeah.
Hawaii,
Well,
and
and I
then at
felt
the last
terrible because
minute she's
I wish I could have taken her with me, but I only had a really small place that I was living in, and I didn't have the capacity to like take all the girls in. It's like a
You
huge
did what
regret
you
of
could,
mine.
man.
I wish I
Yeah.
could have done more for her. I wish I could have done something to help her get out of that house, but you
yeah.
know.
You have no idea how
Um,
much destruction is in that little girl. She is a sick pup and needs more work and patience than you would ever spare. I have given free room and board to all these women. No, it's part of their contract. And have
Yeah,
taught
it's
them
not
prayer,
free. They have to work with
self-empowerment, and
him.
how to love and respect themselves. Yeah. They're working. That's not free room and board when they're working, and it's part of their contract that you supply room and board, you supply the food. And then on top of that, you were supposed to pay them every week.
Yeah.
That's not you being Captain Save a Ho. That's people
And let me
working
just
for
ask,
their stuff.
why is it that I wasn't an angel and everybody else was an angel? Because everybody else was an angel. Why was I not an angel? I had brown hair.
You
That's
were an
why.
angel to those girls, though.
Well, I don't know. I hope so. I
It
wish I
sounds
could have
like
done
it.
more. I didn't, I just,
You
I
did
didn't know it was
a
that
lot.
bad. I was
You
Mm.
working so
helped
hard. There was a lot
Jackie,
that I didn't see.
you helped get Jackie out. Darcy finally left on her own, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Then you ask in private if it's about your pay, trying to ignite a rebellion when I'm the one who got completely fucked is not cool. And Jackie, of all people, is the last one who should be complaining, especially on an open forum. It's a private group text message of your employees, women that are most are living with you, that are saying, "Where's our money?" It's not an open forum.
Yeah.
Dan, I'm assuming this is you. I wasn't trying to ignite a rebellion. I wanted to know if it was a mistake on my deposit or if there was something else going on because there were discrepancies spoken of, and I wasn't sure how this paycheck was being handled. You know what these girls have been like, and you know how they will run with that. I'm trying to get out of this town, and this is not my department. Blah,
Well,
blah,
he's
blah.
he's trying to blame it. He's trying to, say I should have talked to Phil and I shouldn't have talked to
yeah,
him. But we had already had like a very clear conversation that I was no longer going to speak to Phil because I didn't appreciate like the things that he was saying to me and I didn't want to be sexually harassed. And so he knew, especially since it was like, in his whole, Corey's Angels Incorporated, whatever, that it's supposed to be a safe environment for women. Like, I, I should not have been like deferred to go and talk to someone who made me feel uncomfortable. There's just no fucking way.
do you guys
So
have?
whatever.
I'm Canadian, so it's different over here. We have something called human rights. There's the labor board, and then there's human rights, and is against
Well,
the
that's why I
human.
was trying to get a lawyer during the Me Too movement when it had started, and he was doing the whole truth campaign. And we were trying to get someone to represent us, and everyone was like, "Oh, he doesn't have any money. Like, we can't represent you." Like law firm after law firm after law firm, because I was like, these are humanitarian rights, these are human rights issues, these are women's
Absolutely,
rights issues, and
absolutely.
nobody wanted to do anything about it because
Well,
the Me Too that was going on only had to. It wasn't about working class musicians. It was about rich actors.
yeah, yeah. Well, I'm
Like they
curious
did
when I
something that
say,
they regretted or whatever, or then they felt bullied, or I'm sure there's a lot of different types of situations, and then all of a sudden, they're like making all this money off of suing these rich people, but when it came down to actual working class musicians and artists, then it's like we were invisible in the Me Too movement. We still are.
Well, there is
Nobody will represent.
There is a class action lawsuit that's being launched once the documentary airs because, and we've already got a lawyer to represent us, and we've already discussed the terms of it with
Oh,
him.
good.
And he's very familiar with this. He's been following it since the Truth Campaign launched.
Oh,
He
okay,
was willing to start a class action lawsuit at the time that the Truth Campaign went on because people donated under the premise of getting a film made and then ended up not
Yeah.
even getting perks. I was one of those people. So he wanted to start
Oh,
that.
I didn't know
But
that. Dang.
well, you know,
You
hey,
donated to the Truth Campaign?
unfortunately, I have to admit that I did 4 times.
Oh man,
I was an idiot. I was
I
so
didn't know
stupid.
that.
I was so
didn't know that.
stupid.
We
I was
tried
so
so hard.
stupid.
We got shut down. Nobody would let us speak. I
I
mean, they
know.
were
I
trying to
know.
like validate our stories to the grave. These media outlets went and interviewed every venue, the people who attended the venues, the sound engineers, the door guys. They interviewed so many people. They were interviewing people and telling us this story was going to come out for a year and a half, and then, nothing.
Well, the guy from Vice got fired, right?
Journalists are
Yeah.
sketchy. We were involved with an interview for Rolling Stone, and Judy was, I was, Bobby was, and they hardly printed anything from our side of it and paraphrased very little, and it was pro Feldman. So I've seen exactly what they're about. They say they fact checked. They did not. They had the facts. They chose not to follow them. So
No, I'm mad at the Rolling Stone for a whole nother reason. We can't
yeah.
even get into right now. But
Yeah.
they don't care about facts.
No.
They absolutely don't care about facts.
I don't trust.
They don't check their sources.
Yeah, I don't trust mainstream media. I trust people that actually check facts and go off of proof. Like whatever we do lives, whenever we do this kind of thing, we have screenshots, we have proof, like we show it. You know what I mean? Like we're not just people that talk hot air. We actually show you some of our cards. Like we might not show you everything we have, but we show you what we're talking about to prove credibility. Something Feldman cannot do to this day.
Yeah. I can't stand the pretentiousness of his interviews lately of just parading around and like saying, "Oh, I've never raped anyone and there's no proof and blah blah blah," because I know he's talking to me and Jackie.
Yep.
Blatantly talking to me and Jackie. That's what it feels like.
Yep. He is. He does
I get mad and I start posting like Wolfpack lives and crazy stuff. I are the Wolfpack. How's the moon? But I mean, even all that said, I'm just sick of this. I wish I didn't have to talk about it at all. It's embarrassing to be even associated with him.
I think it's been very, very informative, and I think people are at a point where they want to hear the other side of the story. Like
Absolutely.
when I was Feldman, like I was told not to listen and not to do research, sort of thing. Like don't just block and ignore,
Yeah.
But once I started looking at the other side of things, and now I can't not see it. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of people.
I went through that too. I was like, oh, he's poor misrepresented in the media.
Yes.
Mr. Feldman.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't look at anything. My sister got so mad at me. My sister Naya was just like, I told you to look up Mr. Feldman. I told you he was a creep. Didn't you see his swapping wives or whatever? And I was like, no. Yeah. I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt and treat him like a human.
Every reality show he does, he says that the producers, edited him in a bad light. He's done 5 that I can think of, and every single one of them made him look like the douche that he is. And he says, producers, God forbid it should actually be him. You know what I mean?
He says, "Oh, it was editing. They really edited me into this really negative light, and it's just not how things are." Yeah. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I totally get that." But I'm from Idaho. Like, people hold the door for you if your hands are full. Like, generally, you can take people at their word and trust them, and it's not like here.
Yeah.
It's not like here. It's been a big adjustment for me in the city.
All right, let's see what this screenshot says. Nobody was shorted. They were prorated as stipulated in the contract. It's still making that sound. We only played 4 shows the final week and 2 were at home. Whoa, that's weird
really
what my computer just did. That's not very nice of you to say when I haven't been paid on this tour at all. Oh, poor you. It's your tour. You're the employer. Hold on, let me try to mute something again. See, as soon as I mute her, it stops. It's weird. Let me unmute myself too. Okay. Let's try again. Okay. I haven't been paid on this tour at all. I made sure you all got paid. Please be grateful. We worked very hard to make sure everyone was treated fairly. I reviewed the contract and it says we get a guaranteed weekly salary. This is, I'm assuming, Jackie, for 7 weeks, and the whiskey shows are the only ones separate and prorated.
Yeah, well, we
Okay.
didn't get paid for 7 weeks. We got paid for like 5 or something.
Yeah.
You know, and that doesn't count the fact that like I still made like $10,000 worth of costumes for him that he still has. I never agreed to let him keep them if he wasn't going to pay for them. I just said, yeah, I'll make them, you know, in trade to go on tour with you, which he didn't even put my name on the freaking tour. I had to book myself, and I was like a silent opener that everyone was like, who's this chick? Just, it's like,
yeah.
you know, that's why it's like when Margot was like, oh, file for a thing, I was like, it's just not that clear. I just felt like I needed a lawyer. I didn't feel like I could just go to the labor board because there's so many other, you know, human rights issues.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and just like labor issues that were beyond just a basic like wage that wasn't paid. There's so many other issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then here's just copies of the contracts. That are these the NDAs? I'm gonna have to pull these up on my phone. Hold on, I can't even see them on the computer screen. I will try to make. What could we just make a Dropbox with these and put that link in the? We'll figure out a way.
In the description, if you edit it after the fact, you can go back and edit it once it posts, and then you can add the links. But yeah, we can put it. Yeah, well, we'll figure it out after. But yeah, we can just post them on even Twitter and then link it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I mean it's the whole contract
If it's
where it
PDF,
says they were supposed to get paid. Trying to skim through it on my phone here as I'm skimming through these. Talks about when fans come up, travel arrangements, bus expectations. No hard drugs of any kind are allowed on the bus. No alcohol will
Except
be
unless
permitted on
Corey
the bus.
Feldman brings them.
Right.
Freaking drug addict.
Who's Alyssa Wolf?
I'd rather not just.
Oh, okay.
Not discuss her.
Okay, sorry. I just saw her name. I didn't know if she still worked for him or. Okay, now this is the police reports that were filed on Feldman. Let me see what this one says.
Yeah, one of them was because he kept grabbing Kitty on stage, like kept grabbing her ass, like right during the show, and that was one of the things the police were like, "Well, we can't really help you out because you know even the bus driver had witnessed it at some point because he had come in one night and was like, I'm gonna go see what these girls are doing. I'm gonna watch the show, and so he came in and was just shocked to see him like go up and feel her up in the middle of the set, and then you know she's playing, so she's just trying to like keep playing. You know, but then like when we were talking to the police about it, they were like, well, you'd have to file in what city it was, and it's like, well, we're somewhere different every day. It was just there's just so much going on, and
you know
it
what?
was so I mean how I don't think that the bus driver even remembered which city we were in, that he saw it.
And that's why he's getting away with it, because he knows for a fact with his own
Right.
experiences of reporting that it has to be done in that jurisdiction. And if he's doing it like that, he's doing it that way on purpose so he can get away with it, knowing that you won't go back to 10 different cities. You know what I mean? 20 different cities for
Yeah.
court.
Yeah, there was one for criminal threats was one of the police reports, and then this one is for sexual battery.
Yeah, the criminal threats was because he was sicking. He basically he didn't say our names, but basically described us to his fans who we were, and they figured out who we were pretty quick because our inbox.
Oh, he said your names in private messages. We've exposed tons of messages from, the people that are probably listening on Bobby's channel. Kim, Stacy, and myself have been doing videos since Bobby left, and we have gotten tons and tons of private messages between him and other Feldman members. And we've done many videos about him and shown tons and tons of private messages of his.
Yeah, about you. He said your name specifically, Poina.
Mm-hmm.
He did?
Oh, yeah.
When?
In private messages to Kim, to Gina.
Saying what?
About lecherous Pomina, something. I remember that he called you that for some reason.
Lecherous. Jeez. Wow. I was celibate.
He would have me do research and dig for like the bandmates and looking for Satanists and Marilyn Manson connections, and troll any of the bandmates who haven't blocked you, especially the lecherous Pomina.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Lecherous.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's funny.
Yeah.
The celibate Catholic on the tour who's praying the rosary has time to, run around and do what now? What made me lecherous? This is ridiculous.
That you took Jackie away from him in his mind?
Yeah, I did. I sure did steal that Jackie. Now she's mine. She's all mine.
Okay, and then I think the rest of these are the NDAs, I believe, the overnight NDAs, which are just...
Yeah, and these were just copies of things. They weren't
the
signed ones. Because when it came down to it, one of the bookkeeping people that had tried to get in touch with me to be like, what's going on with the bookkeeping and where are all these numbers? And yeah, it was just well, I did the accounting until I was tired of doing the accounting, and I stopped doing the accounting because I wasn't getting paid for it. And then, I tried to get a copy of my contract. They never gave me a copy of my contract, the one that was actually supposedly signed. And then the accounting person was like, well, I can't find your NDA. I can't find your contract. And then I didn't hear from him. I finally called him back, and he was just like, oh yeah, that guy, he stole my iPad and fuck him. And I was like, what? He was like, oh no, I'm not working with him anymore. Forget about it. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I can't
Okay.
remember his name right now.
There was a screenshot that I had taken in my phone when I was going through these, and I'll be honest, there's some in here I wish we would have gone in there, so maybe I'll add them to the link, or we can do a part 2, but I have it on my phone, so I'm just going to read this message, because this one, he just sounds like a cult leader, sex club. Let me just read it. He says, yes, I understand. You would be amazed at things I have seen, heard, witnessed, etc., but I don't ever judge, because I understand that it takes two to get there mentally. But I also know how to help others get out of that place. This is why I support open love and sexuality. I am very anti-sex trade. It ruins lives. So I created a private world for only beautiful people with a super exclusive environment where everyone was pre-screened and all the guests were equally beautiful. It was like a safe zone from the hatred and was the most beautiful, freeing times of our lives.
But I'm the lecherous one.
Yeah, so when you had your,
clothes
sex cult going, that was your best time of your lives. Unfortunately, all the bitter, angry, jealous people ruined it for all of us by interfering and using the media to destroy our reputation, asking beautiful people to fear coming. They made it look scary and sleazy to keep them away. It's really sad. If you knew all the work we had done helping so many girls, and they ambushed us and spun the story and tried to make us look like the pervs, so effed up. One day we will tell more. bottom line, Corey's Angels was created as a safe place to feel open, free, sexy, and beautiful without ever being expected to do anything other than themselves. It was truly beautiful.
He
And
Yeah,
is
it
there
kind
was
of
more
delusional.
like
was.
that. So
He's delusional.
yeah.
He is. He tries to
He
paint the
needs to be in
picture.
a psych ward.
Yeah, he tries to paint the picture that he's helping these destitute, poor, homeless women, that he helps change their life around, and he's this next thing to God, basically. And yeah, like it's really so not that picture. And his Feldman believe it. Like it's really disturbing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we all believed it at one point.
Yeah, and there was way more screenshots like that. So I mean, if we need to do a part two, we can do a part two and show those because they're really disturbing. The way that he talks about these girls, and I guess how he's Captain Save-A-Ho, and I mean, he doesn't realize like you're not just taking these girls in off the street or off the pole into your home because you're a good guy. No, you're doing it and then you're manipulating them, you're controlling them, you control who they text, who they see when they go out, when they eat, and they're working. They're working for you. So, and you think it like he thinks it's an honor to be like in his circle. No, 90% of the girls that have been in your circle have all, it's 95%, have all like regretted it
Become
to
wolf
the
pack.
soul. Yeah.
We've all joined the wolf pack.
Yep,
Gosh.
sure have.
So he's just absolutely disgusting. I'm gonna take some questions. I have one. Shoot, where'd it go? Hold on. Sorry. Um, what's your opinion on the last tour they were on? The one where he said he was almost killed by those monster trucks and him getting pulled over with no license.
There's a story that I heard from a couple of the girls on the tour. I won't mention any names for their own privacy.
Mhm.
But the way that I heard it was that he was driving recklessly, and they were really scared for their lives, and he got pulled over, and everybody was arrested. And then the first, and I saw it come out at first, someone had sent it to me, and it had said that they had been charged with different drug crimes or whatever. But then all of a sudden, all this other media started burying that article, and it all was about him almost getting killed and how he's trying to fight the pedophiles. And so it's like the whole drug charge thing was completely washed over, and nobody saw it. And then it was just like, oh, there's no drug charges. Actually, if we were trying to be murdered,
Yeah,
in order to try to save Hollywood from the pedophiles.
he creates diversions. So
It was a
people
diversion.
focus.
Yeah, the whole entire pedophile story was a diversion from his drug charge arrest, and the Weinstein thing happened right at the same time. So he just used that and jumped on the bandwagon and
He
created
sure
a
does.
whole diversion truth campaign to like hide the fact that he'd been caught in his lie that he's not sober and hasn't been sober.
No. Actually, we were contacted a couple weekends ago. People saw him doing drugs in Vegas just a couple weeks ago. I saw him. I physically saw him do drugs 3 different times in front of me back in 2000. And like I said, an article had just come out in People magazine that after the was it the first time or the second time I met him? It was the second
No, you
time.
didn't. He's been sober since he was 19.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And I have 2 kids and I'm a virgin. I mean,
Exactly.
2 biological
I
kids, I
believe
should
you.
say.
I believe
Yeah.
you.
I mean, it's just he's absolutely insane. Insane. Dishwasher Blood, did you have any questions? I know you had there's somebody in here that she used to work for him. She said I saw him smoke pot. Is it true he tried to sue you? I may be getting people mixed up. Not yet. He hasn't tried. He tried to get a temporary. He did get a temporary restraining order on myself, Bobby, and a few other people, but he didn't show up for court when I did, so it got dropped. And Bobby's got dropped, and the rest of the people's. He kept getting continuances. How can you guys watch the documentary for free? I mean, I don't know. You guys, I'm sure people are going to screen record it and upload it to YouTube or BitChute or wherever else as soon as it's done. I mean, everybody screen records these days.
Yeah.
So, is Feldman's male employees manager participating in the sex parties?
I have no idea. I never went to anything like that, so I have no idea. I was strictly an employee.
Yeah,
I
but
was
Bill
not an
was
angel.
always
He said
like
it himself.
creepy. Maybe if Jackie's in the chat still, she can answer that.
No, but he's definitely a creep. I don't like him.
Me neither.
Yeah, I mean, don't you guys find it ironic too that I had tweeted that, we were doing a big interview on Thursday with I think I even said a former employees of his.
Yep.
And then this morning, Thursday, we wake up to all this nonsense about a freaking calendar.
Yep.
So, Jackie says there were men and women involved.
Yeah, I know on tour I saw him bringing men and women into their, little parties or whatever. I never went into the room after they went and did their thing, but, there was a whole lot of just sort of understanding. We knew what was going on, and I kind of poked fun at him, but,
Did you ever hear him talk about Corey Haim?
Well, yeah, I mean, it was like part of his show. I didn't realize that he was, a total liar at that point. But yeah, I mean, it was like part of his show. Like his best friend, he was like in the video montage and part of the show,
Oh yeah, that's right.
And it was like 222, and this song is for my best friend. Maybe it is his best friend. Maybe he's never had a friend. Maybe that's the closest to a friend he's ever had. I have no idea. I don't think that Haim thought that he was his friend, but
no, they weren't.
But maybe he's such a jerk. Maybe that's as close to a friend as he's ever gotten.
I don't think he knows what true friendship is, because everyone in his life, he uses them.
Yeah. Yeah, and I do believe he was abused as a kid. Absolutely, I do believe that, because you don't turn out like that unless you're a psychopath. And
that's what I said.
A psychopath.
Yep.
You don't get that screwed up unless you've been abused. But I don't really believe that he's fighting against any type of pedophilia.
I believe he's using it as a means to try and get his career back.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. He actually said that in one of the interviews he did.
Yep, he did.
He could have gotten his career back, I think, from that tour if he hadn't have been such a jerk to everyone, because, his music sucked, but, at least he was like, doing songs from his movies and stuff that was kind of appropriate for like, oh, let me have like a rehash tour of my career, and all of his fans could, they could get behind that. They thought it was kind of fun and watch girls jump around in tutus or whatever. But but no, I mean, if he would have been who he was pretending to be, he could have been fine. I think people would have loved and supported him, just because they, enjoyed him in their childhoods or whatever. But unfortunately, he turned out to be a lying scumbag, and so, that's why he can't get his career on track.
All right. Somebody in Bobby's chat said, how many of his girls and employees have come out against him? Are they taking legal action against him? We kind of already touched that based on that. I mean, there's been a lot.
A lot. Yeah.
Yeah, there's been a lot. I mean, even the security guard, the bus driver, it hasn't even just been the girls.
Yeah, he's taking advantage of men for sure.
And some have, gone that were like under 10,000 went to the labor board and they won. So I don't know all the details, the in and outs of it. I just know that they won. And so as far as legal action, she said that they tried. They went everywhere. Actually, one of the evidence stuff that I was sent last week, it was everything that they had together, those police reports and everything. They were trying to get legal help, but they would go to lawyers and the lawyers would look at it and they'd be like, "Oh, well, he doesn't have any money anyways, so we're not going to help you." Because they didn't have the money to pay a lawyer, so they were looking for pro bono help and nobody wanted to help them.
Well, that's what all the lawyers seem to say is that,
nobody even asked us if we were asking them for pro bono help. That was never even
really?
a conversation. No one ever said, "Okay, we'll take the case. This is how much it costs."
Well,
nobody
you got
said
someone
anything
now.
to us. They were just like, "We can't help you."
You got someone now.
Well, great.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Okay.
And you know what? Like, if I win a case against him, I'll pay back all these people who've been ripped off. They can have all the money. I don't care about any of that. I just don't. I'm disgusted that he's taking advantage of working class Americans.
For me, it's not even about money. I don't think I'll ever see 1 cent. It's just to get him to stop.
Well,
I
yeah,
just
and
don't want to hurt anyone.
here's the
anymore.
other thing. Here's the other issue, right? This documentary, we're 99.9% sure he's gonna name Sheen. We've showed the restraining order when he emailed the detective. We showed the private screenshots of people that are in the documentary. We spoke to the people that are in the documentary. We did interviews with them, and it's 99.9% Sheen. So, I mean, I don't think Sheen's just gonna sit back and let that slide. Like, I think he's gonna freaking put a lawsuit on him so fast, Feldman's head is gonna spin.
Well, that's why he said, "Oh, it's a movie. It's not slander because it's just a movie." And so he wants to allude that it's true, but then he can say, "Oh, I made it up." But
well, he's gonna put it on Judy Haim, is what he's gonna do. Well, that's how he's gonna sell it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because
that's ridiculous.
the email exchange that we talked about in the interview that Bobby and myself did with Judy, and we talked about it. We covered that subject about how it come out, and she did name Charlie, but it wasn't. She didn't mean to. He put pressure on her, and she later regretted it. And she's been in touch with all of the appropriate people, as in police, as in legal teams, as in publicists, as in managers. So
I can't imagine what he's had to go through from all this. It's just so sad.
Yeah, it's been tough on her, and that's
It's
why
like
I
one thing
say.
to grieve and then have to grieve with all this weird drama. It's just.
And then the fact that he even is going to play this 911 call, like that
Right.
makes me sick. Okay, like it shouldn't even be on YouTube anyways. And then what's the significance of it being in the documentary other than to hurt Judy? Like I swear he's trying to kill her, like emotionally kill her.
He's got, this is all about revenge for the Hames for him. And it's from that diner scene, and it's funny. We blasted that video, right? Then all of a sudden, on one of his interviews, he's talking about the diner scene, and he's like, "Oh, well, as soon as that, they said cut, roll, stop tape. We went outside and we smoked a cigarette, and he gave me a hug and said he loved me like a brother." Blah 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 blah. I mean, he just keeps adding so much nonsense. That Trisha Paytas podcast was the most disgusting thing I have listened to in this whole 2.5 years of this shit show. He's just adding more and more onto these lies and making them more outrageous. I mean, he actually
burned his own house down.
He actually said in this interview that Corey Haim could not get into the States because he was high driving a car and hit a busload of children. I'm sorry, that would be all over the internet. There would be police reports. That would have been huge. I encourage everybody to try to find evidence of that.
If you find it, send it to us because it doesn't exist.
I mean, he just
murdering children. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
A busload.
Well, then he took it a step further and said he was an advocate, wrote to the U.S. Customs and Homeland Security to try and get him back in the country because he wasn't allowed back in the U.S. And it's like all of these lies, like it's just unbelievable. And he continues to slander Corey Haim, and he's not here to defend himself. Like it's just it's maddening. I can't even imagine. Like, wow.
Yeah, it really is. It really, really is. So, I mean, we'll know Monday night. Everything will be out there. We have been told that we are in the documentary, that screenshots are going to be shared and we're going to be talked about, and that people that he interviewed for the documentary, his Feldman members, one being a hooker and the other one being
Flip-flopper.
ex-drug addict, I don't know, that, they were asked about us and, they were interviewed about us, the Wolfpack, and
Gina talked about us, me and Susie. So
yeah, I mean,
I have no idea if I'm going to be in it or not. I know I was shot a lot during that whole process because there was always cameras everywhere. Every time I was fitting someone or making something or doing something, but I kind of hoped he was going to be so mad at me that he didn't put me in this stupid movie, but
yeah, I was actually in a live stream. He did a podcast with somebody a couple weeks ago, and they were like premiering it on their YouTube channel. And I was in there and I was like typing away, like putting all this, facts out about him and what a piece of shit he is. And then all of a sudden I get a private message and they're like, I can't believe Corey Feldman just said that to you. And I'm like, wait, what? He's in there? What'd he say? Like, I'm not even reading the chat. I'm just typing like a mad woman. And he was like, that's Susie Q and her friends, the Wolfpack. That's who I was telling you about. Block them. They, they're pedophile protectors. And I was instantly blocked. I went in there under like 12 different sock accounts, and I wasn't attacking. I did call Gina a hooker when she came in there, but that was my main account. That's what got me blocked. But then yeah, that's a fact. Like, we're not just saying she's a hooker. Like, she's a legit hooker online and go out and meet Johns and stuff. It's a fact. And
so
it's
oh, did he save her life and teach her about God too?
Oh yeah, I got her on the Courtney Barstool diet. So I mean, so yeah, and he called me a pedophile protector in the thing too, in the message. And I went in there under 12 accounts, and I was just putting facts out by him. They blocked every single account, and my friends too.
Yeah.
What about the creepy dude who works for the LA Dodgers? Well, we'll see. That was, something he said, but he has so many inconsistencies.
Yeah. Somebody said wasn't that Wolfie Hoffman though, because it wasn't he linked to the LA Dodgers.
Yeah, hold on, I'm gonna try to mute her again to see if that helps for a second. I'll mute myself too. See, it still goes on even when I'm muted. Did you guys see Corey on the Wendy Williams the other? Yes, we did.
Yeah, I shared it on my channel. For those of you who aren't following us, like I'm Kim Rocks, and that's Susie Q7979. And Polina, do you have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, it's just Polina, but it's just music and stuff.
Okay, well, hey, I mean,
well, they can follow your music there.
Absolutely.
What's your Twitter?
Poina, Poeina. I'm the only Poina in the world, so just look up my name and there I am.
Yeah, and you guys can follow like Kim's channel. Stacy has a channel. She has another one called Corey Feldman Facts.
Yep.
We've been uploading a lot of videos onto that channel. So please look up that channel and subscribe. There's also a website that we have called CoreyFeldmanFacts.com, right? That's what it is.
No, it's being changed to, I believe it's myrealtruth.com.
Okay.
I think I have to double check because it hasn't actually gone live yet. It was going live this weekend. So there will be a website. We did have CoreyFeldmanFacts.com before. We let it go because, there was nothing going on at the time. But I think it's a good source of information and we're bringing it back. So once we have that, we'll do another live and let you guys know all about it.
Cool.
Yay.
Ooh, well, it's nice talking to you, ladies.
Yeah, and thank you for joining us. And I've had a great time. Like, this has been very, very interesting, to say the least.
Shoot.
Yeah, well, hopefully, people stop giving him money.
Yeah,
and attention.
I agree. Amen.
He needs to go get a job or go to
Yeah.
jail or something.
Yes. Yes.
Like,
Is Dre here? I'm getting messages that he was in the chat. I didn't see him. Sorry, I've been trying to keep an eye on Bobby's chat and this chat and Kim's chat, so I've been kind of jumping all around here trying to keep an eye on everything and, listen
Dre,
to the
if
show.
you are here, we want to
Huh?
talk to you. If Dre is here, we want to talk to him. He subs my channel, actually. So we would like to speak with you, actually. So if you are here, holla at your girls.
There's a L'Oreal Manju. I don't know how to say her last name, but she wants you to send her a private message. I don't know if you know who that is or not. She's
me?
met Feldman. No. She's someone that's been commenting in the chat.
She wants you to send her a private message, Poina.
You. Yes. Oh. There's
oh, she wants me to
Dre.
send her a message?
No. She wants Kim too.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Kim. I guess. Hey, Dre. Thank you for being here. I'm sorry I didn't see your comments earlier.
I didn't either. I wasn't even looking at the chat.
I'm trying to scroll up to see. Oh, I can't go up that far. Well, they're in there. So, I was probably I need to still give him a call. So,
Yeah,
we can do that.
Yeah, we'd like to talk to
So,
you. Talk to you about.
all right. Well, thank you for doing this. And I'm going to go back and look through those screenshots again, and maybe we'll do a part 2.
Okay.
All right. Let me just make sure there's no more questions in Bobby's chat. Someone says Hain did everything better than Feldman, even sleeping. Feldman
Ooh, wait a
couldn't
minute.
handle it.
Hang on. Dre wants to get on this call. Can he join now?
Yeah, he actually can. Do you need to go, Polina? Are you okay? Here,
She's
I need to go soon, but yeah, put him on for a minute. I just plugged my
Okay.
phone in because it was about to die.
Okay.
No,
God,
don't give your phone number. Delete your damn number. Delete that. Mod, delete that number.
I'm trying to delete it. Oh,
Somebody with a wrench, take it away.
Hello?
I got it. You just click on that StreamYard link, Stray.
Calgon, take me away.
Is it working?
I can't believe he just posted this phone number.
Yeah, it's
I don't know what
working.
happened.
We hear
I can't
you.
hear anything anymore.
You can't?
Can you hear us?
Is she backstage?
Yeah, she's backstage.
Did you accept her?
Yeah, no, she's still there.
She said her phone was about to die.
Let me message her and tell her that I can hear her.
Who supported?
You can hear me? Oh, I got your message. You can hear me.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
I can't hear anyone anymore.
We can hear
I'm gonna tell her maybe. Hey.
Let me refresh.
Okay. What to do before I even type that? Oh, here's Dre. Why does it? Okay, add the stream.
How you doing?
Hi.
Yo.
Good.
What's going on, Dre?
How you doing, ladies? How you guys doing today?
Good. We've been wanting to talk to you for a while. You've got some good information. So it's kind of ironic that you
Wow, we can see you now.
No, Judy. How you ladies doing? Judy hit me up yesterday. I'm working on an archangel about female body, the former domestic violence victim, and we started the same time that he did his Corey Angel now, and he got kind of mixed up, askew, because he tried to make his girls interact with my women. My women wasn't having that. He was trying to sleep with 2 of my girls. Then I don't get me wrong. I love Corey to death. Corey got me starting this game. But what went south with Corey is that you wait until Hain passes on, start all this stuff. And I told him we knew what was going on even before the 2 Corys. Why would you wait until now to do that?
Exactly.
And I always told him, don't do things that you're going to look like a bite you in the ass. Now you got when this truth thing hits the air, he gonna need half the U.S. military. So if rumor has it that Bob, I think it was Isaac from Disney, stepped down because of him. Rumor has it going around Disney right now. about that. That he was the reason why Bob stepped down from Disney, the CEO. So them kind of powerful names can make a lot of things happen quick. I've never been a big fan of his wife Susie. Excuse me, I'm sorry, Susie. I love her to death. It was Courtney I like. I've never been a fan of Courtney. I never have. I think she's a trifling woman. I'll tell her to her face she is. And
Yeah.
it's not gossip coming from security because I'm retired bodyguard, so I can say the fuck I want to say. So I don't care
Yeah.
what people think about me. I love his brothers to death. I love his family. But even his
Right.
family, it's like he Corey's Corey. He gonna always be
Okay.
Corey no matter what.
One thing I really need to ask you, Judy will kill me if I don't ask you.
Mm-hmm.
The night that you guys wrapped up for the two Corys and you had the dinner party, did Haim and Feldman have the conversation that if I die, you need to tell my story?
I've never heard that. Me and
Thank
Haim
you.
talk. I never heard Haim say any of that. Me and him talk. We did, and we supposed to have dinner that Thursday. A couple of days before he died, we
Yeah.
had a dinner plans to go eat dinner at my boy's spot, Aromas, in off of next to the Viper Room. My buddy owned this place called Aromas right over off Sunset. We supposed to have dinner that on Thursday. Then I found out when I was with my boss James Tony training for a fight that he had passed. So me and my
Right.
girlfriend go over there and he was being such an ass that day. He was like, first thing he had in his mouth when he went to see Julie. That Julie had lost her son literally 30 minutes ago. And my ex girlfriend, Kimberly Archie, can vouch for this. She says, "Oh, God, that's Corey." Yeah. And Corey comes in. He's like, "What would you take it?" The first thing came out of my mouth was, "What would you take it?" And my girl looked at me and she says, "What the hell that supposed to mean? What would you take it?" I said, "I don't know what the hell Corey talking about." I said, "Corey, you talking about? What would you take it?" I said, cause he figured he was some kind of drug and Freddie got his mouth. And Judy came out the room and she said, "What?" I said, he was sick, Corey. And he just thought that he was doing something he wasn't supposed to be doing. So from that day, I knew there was something wrong with this whole situation.
Well, and I didn't. The one thing I noticed on the Wendy Williams show, he did say, "Oh no, Haim didn't die of drug overdose. He died of pneumonia and an enlarged heart." But when last year he's in front of the New York Senate, he
Yeah.
says that Haim killed himself because he was, for years
Exactly.
of abuse and on drugs. I mean,
And that's why I
it's
Kendall,
said,
unreal.
there's one
yeah.
other thing that I know Judy
hmm
wanted me to bring up is
hmm
remember the day that Feldman and I believe you were there and Judy went to the cemetery after Haim died and the
Yes,
pictures were taken?
I was there in Cali, yeah.
Can you tell the story of how that happened? Because I was told that like Feldman insisted that those pictures get taken. They weren't going to be posted anywhere.
Yeah,
And then next thing,
he did say that. I don't know why we ended up they ended up getting posted. And I don't know why he well he ended everything. He ended the same thing with me. Our friendship ended like this. He accused me of stealing some checks from him and forged them. Everybody knows Dre worked for Corey for almost over 20 years back and forth. Only made close to $35,000. All I made in 20 years with him.
wow.
Wow.
Every penny of what I made with him, I made them up with Madonna the first week I was with Madonna. Week and a half with Madonna, and it was like, how can you tell me that you paying me so well? Now we traveled the world, we did some things together. I'm gonna always be indebted to him to that. He got my name out there in the game. He really did. But the things we did, a lot of things I swore to see I probably would never tell. But it had nothing to do with Corey. It was just the things he did as an individual that made
Right.
no sense at all. And yes, that day that we went to the cemetery was no
Yes.
different. I said, Corey, be a man of your word. The man only can live by his rep. And
Right.
your reputation means don't do it, but do and you do it. It made no sense to me. She
Right.
said, don't do it, you do it anyway. So it
That
made me
that
wonder.
hurt her so
Yeah,
bad and
yeah,
still continues to hurt her.
it was bad. And all Julie's been doing is been patient. And I guarantee she won't see one dime of this money.
No.
I know she not.
You know what? She doesn't even want money. She just wants him to stop it.
Yeah.
Stop slandering her son.
Bubba Chisholm now. You smell my son? I mean, and for set the record straight, I have four sons, monster men, bigger than me. My middle son right now been missing for 4 months now. And I've been going
What?
to per
I'm
diem
sorry to hear that.
and I'm thank you.
Oh,
And I've been going to help police involved. I've seen 3 bodies in the morgue that kind of look like my son. Wasn't him.
oh my
It's
God.
weird stuff.
Oh,
So I can imagine what Julie went through losing Corey. And I can imagine if any woman or man have a son that's missing, daughter, and I have grandbabies now. And my grandbabies, they look at them and ask for their uncles that. It's so hard to tell my grandson, I don't know. And I got some of the biggest people in the industry looking for my son, investigator team. And I'm seeing stuff going at home with Corey on TV, Wendy Williams. And Wendy Williams, I love her. She tell it like it is. But
Yeah, she does.
Dr. Oz the same way. Dr. Oz too. But ladies, I'm gonna tell you something. As a man, when you solidify who you are as an actor, men and women, these actors and these actresses know what they're getting themselves into before they become famous.
Right.
It's that. And Corey Feldman took those women and turned the women into that was no household band. He used them girls for all kind of sorts of bullshit. I don't know why he tell everybody they was here spreading love. No, it wasn't. Them girls was paid, doing tricks, all that stuff. I told Corey, come on, man. And stop telling the word you're drug free. And I tell that to his face. Stop saying drug free. Don't do that.
Yeah.
What would he say? Like, what was his reason to keep that thing going?
Stop telling me if you smoke a joint, you smoke a joint. But don't lie to us you ain't doing nothing. Because see,
Yeah.
people around you gonna tell. Them girls might told on you. What you hear from me, the people already saying, yeah, right. Okay. And people already saying that already. They already said he was doing that. So why would you tell the world you're not doing it? Who cares? If you're smoking a fat one, you're smoking a fat one. If you're doing a Molly here and there, you're doing a Molly. So what you gonna do?
California, I feel like everybody it's everywhere. I mean, you really
Yeah,
gotta
give it
a
at
least.
we can buy it, we can sell it.
Yeah,
It's
you
legal.
sell it. Yeah, so it's like every actor you think would never have done it, have killed himself. What's the black guy there for Jed Jackson? You never saw that coming. He shot and killed himself in the head in the North Hollywood apartment, just out of nowhere. The actor. So it happens every day. Philip Hoffman, you cry for help. I mean,
Yep.
Robin Harris. Robin Harris. I mean, Robin Williams. All these guys who see the stuff coming. And Sam Serpine, my good friend Sam, the Nigerian actor who jumped off the bridge in Pasadena, I worked for Sam for off and on, same long as I knew Corey. And same thing. Haim did not want to leave this earth. God, his time here was just up with God. That's all it was. God said, your time here on earth is gone. Come home and live in peace. Corey's in his own hell now. Corey Feldman got the short end in his dick. I'm telling you right now. He got the short end of the stick because Haim is home with his maker, living it up, and Corey is in his own hell right now. And believe me, it's not over yet. Trust me on that.
Oh, it's about to get a whole lot worse.
A whole lot worse before it get any time better. Soon as that movie drops, that whatever you want to call this damn thing, it took $8 million to make. Somebody's money, but I didn't get no money to him. These unknown people.
How did he get
$8 million when he's not paying anybody anything? I mean,
well, because insurance was $1.3 million. You can't even pay your employees.
Yeah, some unknown person paid it. So I'm like, dude, come on, man. So stop saying some unknown person paid it. You know you have some stats somewhere. You've been lying to the public. They GoFundMe nonsense. You got it, okay? You got it. Fine. Now, here's the best part. You're gonna say you're gonna try to keep it going. If it goes one time only shot deal, the money I'll make, I'll get all my money back. Yeah, how much money you get back off that live streaming? Because I have a live streaming deal with my Archangel show. And if I set the price at $7.99 in 250 countries, watch that. You guys know how much money that is?
Yeah.
Do the math at 250 countries around the world. Watch that show.
Yeah.
I mean,
he wants to sell 100,000 tickets
to break even.
Yeah, the last we heard, he sold 4,000, which in Corey's world is probably like 1,000 or 2,000.
Yeah, in his world, he'll tell, oh yeah, I made a car just enough to pay my rent for her month. No, you made enough to buy you another car.
Yeah,
and do what you gotta do. I watched his son grow up. I took care of Zen, sweet kid. I hope Zen will never turn out to be. So I love Eden. I love Eden to death. I love his brothers to death. All of them. Damn his sister to all of them. But it's a damn shame when your brother he did to you, and then he got showed up on a TV show. Eden stole all the money of that. He stole that.
Yeah.
Pissed him off. So
I couldn't believe when I saw Eden on that show. I was like, man.
Right?
I only know Eden because he actually was like on the summer tour, but yeah,
Yeah.
He was the
Totally
best thing
lovable.
on that show, to be
Yeah,
honest.
he was.
Yeah,
And I love you. You meet Eden, he's the sweetest guy. His brother's now
He's so
sergeant.
sweet.
And his brother's a sergeant. Devin's a sergeant now for LA. LA Airport
LAPD.
Police. No, LA Airport Police. He's a
Oh yeah,
sergeant.
yeah,
He
yeah,
got
yeah, yeah.
promoted. And I
Yeah.
love Devin. And I love his sister, his sister, all of them. But see, it's how you dog your mom and dad, how you dog Bob, Feldman. But all they're doing is trying to be the best parents for you. Sometimes parents know better when you're younger. They see things, but you can't say your parents stole all your money because you have something to do with your money you've been spending too as a kid too. I
Yeah.
want this, I want that, and all the neglect. So now we fast forward to 2020. When that thing drops, he going to hire special forces, the Navy, Navy SEALs. I mean, nuclear submarines around because they're coming after him.
To protect himself from
Oh
us,
shit.
They're
the
coming.
dangerous
They're
wolf
coming.
pack.
Yeah, they're coming after him. He's a
All we
big
need is
Bukowski.
friends.
So you ladies be probably going to some. I won't call it a funeral. You be going to a bullshit viewing. What you going to? You see a bullshit viewing because you're gonna see a bullshit viewing was all over it. And
Oh
I tell
yeah.
them all the time. I'm writing my book right now as we speak. Behind the Vest,
Nice.
Memoirs of a Celebrity Bodyguard, and believe me, my book tells things that the world knows. When he wrote their choreography, that book sat around the house. The non-edited version. This means all the real names in that book. It just laid on the living room table, the kitchen table, on the floor. I mean, I would find a book outside on a porch. I said, you got all these real names in this book. You're gonna land out somewhere. So I'll get called from TMZ, Elijah Banks and Dre. I'll give you 50 grand and tell me who names in there. I could have sold him out then, but I said, you know what? It's not worth it. I'm not gonna dog him like
Oh,
that.
bro, you're only making 35K. You should have sold them out.
Exactly. I said,
Mhm.
but you know something? But see, me, like I said, my reputation, and it wasn't about me not being
I,
able to work no more in this game.
no, I hear you. I hear
I
you.
could make
No,
one phone call right now,
they're
I still
just
got
good
my bodyguard.
stitches.
Yeah, and I'm 100%. But he opened the door for pedophile to get their asses caught. We all know Harvey Weinstein was a fucking joke. Everybody
Yeah.
knows that he was a slut, and we all know the Bob, even the guy who just the Disney CEO, who Charlie Sheen's a freak. We all know that. But you saying, what about you? You keep forgetting about them. What about Corey Feldman?
Yeah.
Well, he always tries to point the finger around and get it off of him and twist
Yeah,
it.
you a
You
freak
know?
too. You do.
Okay, now
You
you
just
guys
shot.
both worked for him. You guys were around him for a long time. Now, did he do these sex parties and the drugs and stuff while his son was there?
He never really had a chance to do it. 'Cause I was in charge of the little man. So when he had Susie had him, it was just Corey in his phone. One thing I say about that, he was a damn good father getting his kid. He was an incredible dad. So I couldn't knock him for that because when I was going through my darkest time, he was there for me. And I
Fair
told him,
enough.
I got your back, but you gotta stand. If you're gonna live by the sword, you're gonna die by the sword. So you gotta be
Yep.
careful. You tell people what everybody else has done. Stick to Corey Feldman's wrongs. Don't go to Hames' wrong, Hames' mom's wrong. Stick to Corey Feldman's wrongs because you got a lot more wrongs than people think you got. And I got pterodactyl bones. I got Jurassic Park bones in my closet. So I can imagine what kind of fucking bones he got in his closet. Godzilla bones in his closet. So Rodan, and giant robot shit. So I know it's in his closet. You can imagine what's in that damn closet. Marilyn Monroe bones and shit in his closet. So he can't say nothing about it. I'm about to say, stop telling the world that he told me to do the story. No, he didn't. He never said that. And I don't know. And I want to go on Dr. Oz and tell him, man, come on, man. Corey, just tell the truth about what you and keep raggy ass Courtney in her cage, her vegan, disgusting vegan ass, and she gets my ratchet ass nerve. And I don't care who knows it. She's a fucking idiot. I mean, Corey was good, but she's an idiot. And she should be ashamed of herself, sucking Corey and marrying her like that.
Yep.
The best thing ever happened to him was Susan. Period, hands down.
Well, did you know that she's in the documentary?
Susie,
Mm-hmm.
poor girl.
He
Yeah.
says it, and if you on the trailer on his YouTube channel, it says it in the description. And he
Okay.
claims that he's got no money to pay his employees, but supposedly he has 24-hour security for himself, for Susie, for his first wife, Vanessa, I believe her name is.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. But why did Vanessa went dubbed him for somebody else? She left him for somebody else, Gino. So why does Vanessa need him to do that? Why did he need? Is this weird to me? It makes no sense.
oh, he
It's
said
a
on the
big story.
Tricious Paytas interview that she cheated on him with Prince.
Prince.
So somebody said,
Yes, that's what he said in the podcast
Let's see,
the other day.
that close to Prince's dick, whatever.
He said when he was in rehab when he was 19 for 10 months, that she went and cheated on him with Prince.
Now, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Fuck it off, ladies. Y'all finna laugh and tell your Prince story about that. See, you understand? Prince was an interesting little guy. I love Prince. The first time I met Prince, I was at Roxbury, and my Clark Duncan, rest his soul, played the flute. And it was a concert with Tevin Campbell, and Prince shows up. He had a little cute little jumpsuit on, then into the boot, And he walked up to it with his sucker in his mouth. He says, "How you doing?" I said, "I'm Prince." I said, "I know who you are, Mo." I'm like, he had them eyes that you can. Eyes, you can't look at the eyes. You can't look at the eyes. You do that, you turn gay. You look at the eyes. So, oh my God. So I had to hide my eyes talking to him. And he looked at me like, "Oh, why you not talking to me?" He said, "Why you looking at me?" I said, "Because you're a pretty motherfucker."
What?
I told him,
pretty motherfucker.
And Mickey Rourke walked by and started fucking laughing so hard. He says, "Oh my fucking God. It's so true." I said the same fucking thing. His fucking eyes. So I walk away and Corey shows up. So Michael Maris was a hot big time promoter back then in '93. So Michael Maris says, "Corey," and Corey had the chicks with him. And back then, Haim showed up to a spot where Haim was doing things. They wasn't talking off and on, but Haim was in town and they got into a fight no one ever knew about. In '93. Big old fight.
Haim and Feldman got into a fight?
Yeah, big old fight on the phone. So Corey had an after party at his house. And we had just went down to Bootsy Bellows. Formerly Bootsy Bellows was the bar one man. And Drew Barrymore was there drunk as hell at the bar. She like 13 or 14, man, just fucked up. I said, "Oh my God." So I had this party at the house with the front door. Here comes all these celebrities going over. Judd Nelson broke his leg. He's on a cast with his knee up on his cast leg. So he was standing with me in the picture, and my other homeboy, Gene. Will Smith showed up. I told Will, "Dude, who the fuck are you? You can't get in. It's a big ass theater. You can't get in." I knew who he was at the time. And Alfonso got in, and he said, I'm Fresh Prince. I'm Will Smith." I said, "Yeah, whatever." And I said, and I told him to leave. He left. I kicked Will Smith out of the court. I said, "Oh shit." Then I found out that's who it was. About a year later, I started working for Will, and I found out it was you was the one that called you. "Yeah, you threw me out." I said, "I know who the fuck you was." And then Kevin Cameron showed up. And I said, "Kevin, what's up, man?" So Dominic Bronson, name everybody keep ignoring.
No, not us.
Not us.
Everybody keep on saying Dominic. Dominic was the most nastiest bastard on the planet.
Yep.
I think a pedophile beyond pedophiles. And no one just keep ignoring. That's who it was that bothered Mr. Haim.
Bingo. That's what we've been saying all along.
I said,
Feldman was friends with the guy.
And lived with him.
I'm gonna tell you what. He had this room. It's a Hazelhurst Palace. I call it Hazelhurst Palace. It was a blow palace. Everybody went there to blow. And you go there. It's his room that you never was allowed to go in. Dominic would tell guy Henry Penzie. A name you guys might know. Henry Penzie used to say, "Hey, what's in that room, Dominic?" "Oh, it's a war of loving chocolate." I said, "What the fuck you mean?" I would every time we would go somewhere, I come back to the house by itself. I would go check out that room. He had some of the most disgusting stuff in there. I'm talking things that you would never think the stuff a pedophile would use on people in his room. I don't know why he acted like he was innocent as fuck. If I ever seen Dominic, I would slap him in his fucking fat belly and kick him in his fucking face. Because he really is. To sit up there and smear Haim's name like that. And you know you was the one behind that. That would kill me. That would kill me. And you want to say all the other people. I mean, when it push comes and shove in the day, ladies, we know that Fell Dog, or what Haim always called him, wasn't innocent none of this stuff. I don't know why he made me like, oh, he told me to do it. Corey, come on, man. I love you to death. Tell the truth. He ain't been telling no shit like that.
Yeah.
He didn't tell you, just tell a story.
Thank you.
He
God.
look at you right now from the grave saying, what the fuck is happening here? You know, at the grave, shaking his head like, damn, looking down at him going, wow. You sold me out like that for a little bit of money. A little bit of money, it was. And so whatever day he launches this thing, he better have a nuclear device on his house.
Yeah.
He better have a whole reactor around there. He better have bulletproof everything because he already started. The ball started rolling already with the CEO of Disney. That's the rumor right now. They got fired because of But I tell you what, in that book, it was some very powerful names in that book. The non-edited version was.
Let's hear it.
I can tell you some initials. It was some M's in there.
Okay, tell us some
I
initials.
might have to go though if you keep telling stories though, because I have to go to a rehearsal tonight.
Oh.
Yeah, it was the M, the C's, the B's, the S's. So there's a few names in there. That was a powerful name in the industry. So when he comes out, he gonna have a lot of people after him.
Did he name Brasha in that book?
Think about it. Never. See, I'm talking about that little D Bronson never even cared. That's why it was so weird. You won't mention Dominic. I think Dominic read piss butt. I think Dominic read piss. That's why Corey Feldman. That's why he don't mention Dominic Ryan.
I think he won't mention Dominic because he lived with him, right? Like he doesn't want to incriminate himself.
Yes, and I think they'll try to be slick about you because it makes no sense.
Like he lived with him like after him.
During like
all
not long after the emancipation.
Matter of fact, what Friday? Which one was Dominic again? He got chopped up.
Busted. Oh, I think he was in Friday the 13th also.
Well, which one? One or two?
I think it was. I don't remember which one it was.
I think it was 3.
Yeah, 3. I was gonna say I thought Feldman was in 3.
So that means in 3. That means, ladies, that means in 3. He been that no longer go that big. So that means he been knowing Dominic since the early part of the 90s. He first met me. I met Dominic in 1992. I met Corey at my nightclub in Montclair, California, at the Acapulco's. He came looking for a fix. I think I met him. He's looking for. Why would a white dude be in Montclair at a drug-infested club that I ran by the Mexican mafia with nothing but meth and everything else in there?
Wow.
Why would he do that? Because the Mexican mafia boss.
My mind is blown. Like, wow.
Why would he be there tonight? Even my friends like, ain't that Corey Feldman from the Goonies? And that's how we met him. That's how he actually come to Hollywood and do his body. So why would he even be? He don't even tell that story. Why would he even be in Montclair?
Right.
Way the fuck out of his element in Hollywood. So
he got busted with those 19 balls of bags, balloons, whatever they're called, of heroin.
So he sweat out a lot of stuff that happened. Dude, who cares? You had a bad life. You fixed your life. So stop lying about things you fixed. That would kill me about him. And he don't get that. So I wish him all luck. I wish everybody luck with things you've done with him, and that's what Dominic gets for thinking that. Thank you, sister. And Corey, whatever Corey's doing on this show is gonna be crazy.
Now, did you ever hear Feldman talk about Sheen?
Oh, he can't stand Charlie Sheen. He hates Charlie fashion. They always fall. And I mean, Charlie Sheen became a good friend of mine through a guy by the name of Darius McGregor. Darius worked on music with Charlie in the studio, and my boy M was a fashion designer from Malaysia, good friend of Charlie. He was always in the studio, so doing some of his stuff. So everybody knew what the real deal was. That's why I understand why would anybody think that he was such a special kind of guy. Corey, like any person in America, rude stuff. Everybody, he's a nice guy. He helps out a lot of people, but he did rude things. And if you're gonna stick to a routine, stick to the routine every day of your life. Stop always just dogging people. One minute you're a friend, and you dog them out. It's not. It's not cool. It's not cool at all. So that's what it was, and who we are now at this premiere of this show, whatever it's gonna be. Whatever.
Yeah.
When does this show happen? When is it? The documentary even coming out?
The 9th of March.
Okay. So, what day is that? If I make sure I'm not around.
I think it's Monday night.
Oh, it was perfect. One Night Wrestling, so WWE, so I'd be perfect. Watch that. um,
If you
oh my
smell
god.
what the rock's got cooking.
Well, it's like yeah, because it's like ugh, it's like taking a parachute jumping and putting his court a little too early and let him
Yeah,
just
he's
fly back
yeah,
into the car. I
yeah,
mean, you wish sometimes he's on a plane that got shot down by somebody, and them kind of things. I hate to wish it on anybody. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
I really do. So it's like God is good, and I think it's real wonderful. So I hope whatever happens to him in a great. I wish him all luck. I wish no bad luck on anybody. But you need to be careful what you're doing because now you can put your toenail in the bag of bacon bits. You put your foot in hot chicken grease. So you gotta live with that. You gotta
Yeah.
live
Yeah, he's got to pay the consequences of his actions, though.
He
with
thinks it's going to be
It's
like the next Harvey Weinstein thing, and all these people are going to come for. It's like, he's taken down his own career. He's going to blame it on the Wolfpack and Judy and everybody else and Charlie Sheen and
Yeah.
everything else,
everybody.
but this is his doing.
Yep.
He
All
sat
him.
back and held on to these names for 10 years. Why, quote unquote, film 10 years ago? Like, all these
Well, you
pedophiles
know
and you
why?
just
Because
sat back.
yep. And you said all the time, all the people they was constantly ruining kids' life too. You sit there and watched. That would crack me up.
Amen.
And it's sad.
Hey, sorry to interrupt. I really got to get going.
Oh
All
yeah, you
right.
But
can.
Well,
Thank
wanted
you,
to
thank
say
Paulina.
you.
goodbye.
Yeah, thank you very
Bye.
much.
Thank
Thank
you
Now,
so
you.
much.
And yeah,
Call me
I'll
but
come
yeah.
in
tomorrow.
later and listen to the
Now
rest.
I'm gonna
Okay,
tell
we'll
you
do
right
All
that.
now,
right.
ladies. I'm doing we're doing a premiere of Archangel the show. I'll make sure you guys out here in LA, right?
I am. Well, I'm in
Indeed.
Lake Elsinore.
Perfect. Yeah, my niece lives in Lake Elsinore. My niece is getting married. She lives in Elsinore. Now I'm having a premiere of Archangels, the real Archangel, not the Corey Feldman with the penis shaped logo.
It was penis shape.
That's all I see when I look at it. Thought I was the
He,
only one.
he claimed, and I had one drew from a real one. He didn't want that one. I wanted one. I said, Corey, like a penis, dude. It looks great. Even the police
Totally.
officer, what's a giant penis up there? I said, yes, Corey Feldman. And he just argued me down. He thought his girls was better than my women were. I said, look, it's not a competition. We are here to save lives with domestic abuse. You're here to take women and drug them up and have sex with
Yep.
them. Big difference. So one of my girls said, oh, he just trying to hit on me the whole time, Dre. I'm talking. He kept walking to me and said, Dre. That's what he kept doing. He kept doing that to me. So I knew it was something kind of weird. And it was great. So God bless him. And God keep him. I wish him all luck. I do.
He's gonna freaking need it, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
he
gonna
is.
He is.
Oh yeah.
So thank you for your time. And anything
Thank you for coming on
yeah,
here.
yes.
Yeah.
Anything else that comes, I'll let you know.
All
Um,
right.
But be following me. I'm on my Instagram, of course. It's
Okay.
the Big Drake Factor, and you
Yeah.
can follow me on that. And of course, my Facebook is DeAndre Adams. I'm doing a first ever Legends Bodyguard Hall of Fame Awards at Thunder Studios, June 13th, 2020. We come out representing. We have some major celebrities going. We got a host by Darius McGregory from Family Matters hosted, Rodneyana Rippey, Jack in the Box fame, and a lot of celebrity guests coming through. It's to give homage to all the bodyguards from present and past, and we're giving awards to the Lifetime Achievement Awards, everything. It's our first
all right.
annual. We do it every year.
Well, maybe
So
I'll get with Jackie and Paulina, and I can
yes,
come out there and
yes.
we can all
Purple.
go. And
It'll be part of the media stuff. Yeah, it's the media. And it's purple carpet. Black tie event is gonna be great.
okay, well,
Yes,
thank
fine.
you.
So I'll give you
And
more information and stuff since you get past the media passes, since you and everything else. So
I
you're
think we
welcome.
definitely
absolutely,
need to chat again for sure because you
Oh,
are
you
like
will.
one
yeah,
You will.
dude.
You
Like
definitely can because I'll make sure that I would love to have. I'm paying homage to Heyman night too on my Tron and stuff. It's gonna be a live based live streaming show. So we're gonna be live. I'm paying homage to Corey. Everybody who friends of mine. They're gonna be on the screen. We're gonna talk about them a little bit about everything because got me in my inspiration of actually kept bodyguard. I was gonna quit, and he said, "Man, dude, you got too much skills, and don't let Corey stop you from quitting doing anything." Because Corey really had me at the point now. I didn't want to bodyguard anymore. He's a total asswipe, and he's
yeah.
pissed me off. But he said, "Man, no, you don't let Corey make you do what you're doing." So I did, and there it was. So thank you for let me allow me to your show. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And I'm going to keep your family and your son in my prayers. Oh my God.
Yes,
Yeah, I appreciate that, ladies.
definitely.
God bless you all. God keep you.
All right. Thanks, Trey.
Big
Thank
Dre
you so
out.
much.
Good
All
day.
right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, well, that was a happy surprise. A good surprise. Uh-oh. Kim looks frozen. Kim, I'm going to boot you because you look frozen and messed up. Hopefully I'm not frozen. If you want to jump back real quick, you can, but I'm just going to end it. That was amazing. Maybe we can do a follow-up interview, like, with Dre. I don't know if he'd be available this weekend before the doc. But we'll have to see for sure because that was great. Oh, I'm frozen too, or just Kim? Am I? Oh, no, I'm not frozen. Okay, just Kim was frozen. So, but again, everybody, please subscribe to Kim Rock's channel, Stacy Thomas, Corey Feldman Fox, my channel, of course, Susie Q79. We will keep doing videos. We've been doing them, putting lots of evidence out there. A couple of the videos I removed from my channel because we had buffering problems. So, like, they're on Kim's channel, and oh, here she is. Hi.
Hey,
Sorry,
sorry.
you're frozen.
I
Sorry.
know. I don't know. Did Dre go or?
Yeah, he did.
Man, that's one
Yeah.
interesting dude. Like my mind is blown like right now.
Yeah, that was really a good surprise that he came
It
on
was
here.
a great surprise. Like this has been one informative night. Like that's for sure. So
Yeah, it has. And I think we're definitely going to have to do a part 2 of those screenshots. So,
oh yeah, for sure.
we'll probably do that this weekend sometime before Monday for sure. And I'm sure, huh?
Whose channel? Put her channel in the comments. Mine is Kim Rocks. Susie's is Susie Q7979.
Kim Rocks. Then there's Corey Feldman
Rachel does that.
Facts.
And then Damn Hot Chick is Bobby's old channel, which we have now taken over, and you'll be seeing more of our streams.
Yeah, we gotta change the name and stuff. He's trying to figure out. Bobby does not want to be associated with this in any way, shape, or form. He doesn't want the channel, but he wants, to give us the channel to be able to get the information out to more people, which was huge tonight. I mean, he had 75 people at one point just in his chat. We got up to 140 total between the 3 streams at one time.
Really?
Yeah, we sure did.
Holy
So this was huge. Bobby's trying to figure out a way to disconnect his Gmail account to that YouTube channel, and we just ran out of time to do that, so we just did the way we did it real quick because he's busy living his best life. So we did it this way so I could simulcast to him, and we'll just keep doing that. And Stacy Thomas, that's her channel, right?
Well, she usually uses she posts everything Feldman on Corey Feldman Facts.
Yeah, so that's fine. Yeah, Corey Feldman Facts. Definitely, please subscribe to that channel. And I'm sure we'll be back on here soon. Tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday.
My mind is
do you want to discuss the calendar thing? I know we discussed it a little bit, but all I have to say to that is we had nothing to do with it. We have no idea. I don't know if who did it, if he did it, someone he knew did it. I don't know. Nor do I care. I think it's ridiculous that he had to make the big deal out of it that he did. He's just bringing attention to us. So, and there's lots of articles now from today that we can go drop the link to this video in all the comments. But if you guys look at the comments on the TMZ article, they're hilarious. If you want a good laugh, go look at the TMZ comments. There was, I was wondering if anybody did a YouTube video about it earlier, and I put Corey Feldman Wolfpack Wolfpack something. What did I put? I can look in my history. And a video came out.
Yep.
Sorry, the guy has like almost 500,000 subscribers, and he did a video about the calendar thing. And I guess he's done. Oh, I put Corey Feldman Wolfpack is what it is. And you scroll down, and there's a video done today, and the guy just talks about the calendar and the Wolfpack, and he thinks Feldman, has no credibility, blah blah blah. And the comments on that video, I mean, they're all negative towards him. So. I mean, people still aren't buying it. Huh?
Is it Pockets of Truth or something like
that?
No,
here, let me look it up real quick. No, it was somebody I had never seen before personally.
Somebody is asking to explain the calendar thing. So what it was apparently, I don't know, was it last night that it happened or was it today?
I don't know if it was last night. I woke up to it this morning and it was all over.
Anyways, I woke up to it as well. And got the news that I think TMZ was already reporting on it, that a calendar of a wolf pack calendar, I guess, was left at Corey's house in some capacity. And what I read from the article was that he fled his house. He's going to leave his house until after the documentary is aired. A lot of people don't even understand what the wolf calendar represents. I personally think it's a publicity stunt. Personally, I was expecting him to have another attempt on his life, so-called attempt on his life, prior to the documentary, because let's face it, ticket sales just aren't there. And he's facing to lose a lot of money, which he may or may not have borrowed from somebody else that was, I don't know. There's some story there too, but who knows with him. So I don't know. I personally think it's a publicity stunt. I don't believe it even happened. But he's trying to say that there's this wolf pack, that Judy Haim is, at the head of this wolf pack. There's like 30 or 40 people that have all teamed up together and are going after him. It's this big narrative that he's going to tell in the documentary. I believe that it's going to be like kind of in two parts. So he's going to have some guests on there that talk about their own experiences with abuse. And then he's going to talk about the wolf pack. That's what I think it's going to go. So.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. He just makes himself look crazy every day. I mean, like, you didn't learn with the monster trucks. Never mind the syringing. Like, he lost a lot of support with that whole syringing BS. And, now he's doing the calendar thing about us. I mean, it's all over the news. The Wolfpack, it's article after article kept popping up today all day. And I'm like, oh my God, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And then
it was bad time to be in Twitter jail when all this was going on. I couldn't retweet or tweet.
And then it's like, it's gonna be what? It's documentary, like they're always exposing the Hollywood Wolfpack, and it's gonna be like Judy Haim and this guy that does YouTube videos, Bobby Wolf and Susie Q79 and Kim Rocks, and it's like, really? That's like, he's going to make himself look more crazy than he already does.
Yeah, if that's even possible at this point. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I can't wait until Monday night. We're going to be slandered in it, Susie and I, by a hooker. We can't forget that fun fact. So, yeah, she's actually legitimately going to be in the documentary, and she's going to talk about us. Mm-hmm. Interesting to see what happens after.
Oh, and I'm sure just to be a-holes, they're going to put Bobby in there, too, even though he's been out of the game for a year,
Yeah. Yep. Definitely he'll be in there, for sure.
And I would just like to remind everybody, just remember that, this whole documentary is about revenge for him on Haim, Corey Haim, Judy Haim, and on Charlie Sheen also. So, I mean, if he does not name Dominic, I hope everybody walks away from that documentary screaming it from the rooftops, why didn't he name Dominic? So
I'm just still processing what Dre had to say, and I definitely want to give him a call.
And, we need to do another stream with him again. I noticed a couple people just came in here. I encourage everybody to go back and listen to this. We had a former employee who worked for Poena, who worked for Feldman, and then we had a surprise guest that came on, Big Dre, and he worked for Corey Feldman for over 20 years and was a security guard.
Yeah. This is the longest stream I've ever done in my entire life.
Hold up.
Uh-oh. Put your hands up in the air. Put your hands up.
Sorry, I took a drink and it went down the wrong way. It's dying.
Yeah, this is the longest stream I've ever done in my entire life, but it's also been the most interesting stream. Like, I wasn't expecting Dre, and I wasn't expecting him to confirm Dasha, which is what we've been saying all along. Like, and it's funny because, you know, he confirmed a lot of the things we've been saying and didn't even know it. Do you know what I mean? Like, he was just talking, and it was like, yep, thank you. Yep, thank you.
Yeah. And Poena, you know, shared her story, and it's really important for her story to go out. You know, I know she kind of didn't get to say everything, but I've had, you know, private conversations with her, you know, this week, and she really wanted to share her story to help other girls. And, you know, when they started working for Feldman, there wasn't, you know, former employees who had spoken out against Feldman, you know, where they like found it in a Google search or whatever. So, you know, that's why all those girls came forward. And Poena wanted to come forward again, because if she can help one person, then it's all worth it for her, you know. And she just can't believe that, you know, he was, she you know what she actually said? She told me that actually made her like get really upset. She hadn't heard Linz's video that when we interviewed Linz months ago.
I heard that.
She just heard it like last week when we replayed it on a stream.
Yep.
And she goes, oh my God, he sat there and talked to Linz about that, you know, rape, and said it was Courtney. And she's like, that just infuriated me. Like, he's taking Darcy out of the whole equation. And, you know, and so that, you know, that upset her a lot. And so, yeah.
I'm glad Poena finally decided to come forward and share her story. And again, it just confirms things that Jackie said, that Margot has said, that Dre has said, that Wade has said. Like, everybody that comes forward, they're all consistent. Their story never changes, no matter how much time has passed. With Feldman, we've proven time and time again, every interview he does, the story frickin' changes.
Yep.
So.
Constantly.
Yeah.
So sorry. Feldman tweeted, apparently. The media now reporting on this. Honestly, there isn't much just getting attention for themselves, so they can try to scare me and discredit me or going nowhere. I'm fine.
So
weren't you just saying? Didn't he tweet?
Dude, he heard about our stream. That's what it is. That's what that is.
Oh.
They're trying to discredit me? Who, you know what I'm saying?
Right. I was leaving a calendar trying to discredit you. Did you do this to try to take attention away from our stream?
Yeah.
Over a calendar? And weren't you saying just this morning that you had to leave your house with your family until the premiere came out? I mean, come on.
That just made my night. That means he's probably damn well watching.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh my God. We know the Feld fam are, so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course they are. They stalk our lives.
Yeah.
And then they claim that they're the ones stalked. I couldn't tell you the last time I looked on one of their Twitters, to be honest. Actually, I'm lying, because today I did look at Heather's when I was looking at Feldman's, because like she was tweeting on his thread like crazy. And so she was like, they used Wolfpack. That's trademarked. There's a college in whatever state, and Wolfpack is trademarked. People are going to get sued for using Wolfpack. And I'm like,
dude, I'm not even American, so good luck with it.
Do we have any, like, what? Do we have anything trademarked Wolfpack? Like, I'm not allowed to say the word Wolfpack? Like, that's not how that works.
All these people have a skewed opinion of the law. They don't know. God, I was her telling me she was going to call the cops on me because I was harassing her because I made a video about it. And it's like, bitch, your face is on a website selling your body and you're going to call the cops? I don't think you are. Like, oh my God. So
yeah. So
But
All
yeah.
right. I'm so sad. Stacy fell asleep. She's gonna be so
Me
mad.
too. I tried waking
Mhm.
her up. I called her. I kept messaging her, and yeah,
Yeah,
it's late her time though. It's like,
I know.
God, I don't even know. 10, 11, 12, 1. It's like 3 in the morning for her right now. So
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you everybody for being here. Thank you so much, Paulina. Thank you, Big Dre. And
yeah,
we'll be back, guys. So make sure you're sub to our channel. We will definitely
yeah,
be back this weekend, I'm sure, at some point.
yeah. This has
So
been great. Thank you everyone for joining us. I hope that you guys learned as much as we did tonight. Had a good time getting to know some people, and yeah, we'll talk to you guys soon. Peace
all
out.
right. Thank you.
All right.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.